What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 4SW Chapter 86, Konoha joins, Burn My Youth, please support. Advertisement, 14. Nagato flew down to a place upstairs, finished lifting the Eucharist, and exhaled. Nagato was very surprised to be able to open the Eucharist suddenly, but he can't maintain this state for too long, which is a heavy burden for him. And Nagato had no interest in killing these trash Konoha Shinobi people, just couldn't help but vent a bit, killing hundreds of them at will. But third Hokage, killing him, can always eliminate some resistance to the Empire. Do what you want, just when Nagato is about to attack Sarutobi Hiruzen. Hey! A figure radiating green chakra energy from far to near at a very fast speed. In a blink of an eye, I arrived in front of Sarutobi and others. Huh, last time I was away, this is finally catching up. Might where? Seeing the sudden appearance of this man in front of him, many ninjas collapsed. Isn't he Genin? Why are you here? It is currently the Second World War. At this moment, Might Dai is in his 20s. Although he is Genin, he has not yet reached the point where he is called 10,000 years old Genin during the Third World War. However, Might Dai only knows the 7-7 techniques, which is extremely peculiar among ninjas, so everyone recognized it. This is. Looking at chakra on Might Dai, Sarutobi's eyes narrowed slightly. Hokage, my lord, please stay away and he will leave it to me. Before Sarutobi could speak, Might yelled out loudly and looked at Nagato, his eyes full of determination. Genin Konoha, I just made you laugh, but, swearing to protect Konoha, this is my youth. Might Dai exposed a mouthful of the signature white fang, which immediately blinded Nagato. What's the situation with this guy? Konoha Genin dared to stop me. Looking at Might wearing a foolish smile, for some reason, Nagato's heart had an unspeakable touch. Swear to protect your most important things? In my opinion, Konoha has so many people, they add up to not as good as you. Nagato sighed, thinking of what he was protecting for a while. That is the Invisible Empire, he is willing to dedicate his life for this. A few minutes ago, Uzumaki Kushina made a quick turn around the ninja school and the village, then looked around at home again. Is the cousin not in the village? Impossible, she hasn't graduated yet, so she has no reason to leave the village. Kushina frowned, full of doubts. Mew ran heard a sound outside the door. Kushina looked back, and saw a blonde-haired boy coming in. She was shocked when she saw Kushina. You. Why are you here? I still want to ask you, why come to my house? Kushina akimbo Haki's mouth, putting great pressure on the teenager. Look at you Gigi Chongchong, I told my cousin that you are not a good person, a rookie. Namikaze Minato. It's a classmate anyhow, it's so rude. But when I thought of Nanako, Namikaze Minato couldn't take care of so much and hurriedly said, Uzumaki Kushina, Nanako has disappeared for 2 days, she. What did you say? Kushina suddenly burst into spiritual power, staring at Namikaze Minato. Namikaze Minato was directly shocked and flew out, all in pain, looking at Kushina in disbelief. This kind of gap. Ignoring Minato, Kushina strongly perceives everyone's Ryotsu in Konoha Village. Guess what Shinai was feeling? Namikaze Minato clenched his fist and said. Although, unacceptable, but I guess. Nanako is at the new route base, southeast of Konoha. I searched for my hair, but I couldn't get in. Kushina felt strongly towards the southeast, what a route. After a while, all Ryotsu erupted in anger, boom. Under Namikaze Minato's shocked gaze, this small house broke into pieces, and a terrible breath pressed like a mountain. Puff. Minato spit out a mouthful of blood overwhelmed, his eyes dimmed a bit. Was he so weak? How can I protect important things like this? No need to care, the gap between you and me is justified. Kushina resisted the anger in her heart and tried her best to maintain a steady tone. Classmates, I will let you see what darkness is, I hope you can still have hope for Konoha. Follow me to the roots. Advertisement seeing Kushina disappear, Minato quickly got up and followed, with a heavy heart. Is his guess true? Nanako got caught by the roots? The 6th gate is open. At the same time, Might Dai opened the 6th gate instantly. The entire ground was exploded by invisible chi, and the green chakra-like flames rushed out of him. Is it only this level? The hockey man who looked down from the heights outside the village couldn't help being disappointed, and the blood of anticipation dropped directly. If the opponent is strong, he can't help but rush to dance. This momentum. Seeing the incredible changes in Might Dai's body, Nagato couldn't help being surprised. Obviously weak, suddenly become stronger? Research? Might Dai didn't hesitate, exerted force under his feet, and directly shattered the entire ground, and his figure instantly disappeared in place. Toward the peacock. When the ninjas caught the figure of Might Dai again, they only saw that he had turned into a green light and came to Nagato in an instant. The power that had been accumulated for a long time exploded. Boom boom boom. In an instant, Dai blasted countless high-speed punches, and the resulting shockwaves and flames blasted Nagato wildly. The whole picture is as gorgeous as a peacock on the screen. 0. Good. So strong. Suddenly seeing Might Dai explode with terrible power, the surrounding Konoha Shinobi were all stunned. Lord Hokage, is Genin the highest level Konoha? Research? A dull collision was accompanied by a circular shockwave spreading. Without waiting for the ninjas present to react, the blast of flame like a peacock in the air disappeared. I saw Might Die kicked out by Nagato, and dozens of houses cracked like a cannonball along the way. War. Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart sank. Even if it bursts with such power, can't it? Ninjutsu has increased well, but unfortunately you are too weak. Nagato fell on the ground and said calmly, the foundation is poor. No matter how much the increase is, it will not be too strong. If you only have this level, then you should step back. Even so, Nagato's right foot could not help but feel pain. If he hadn't immediately used the static blood suit to strengthen his defense, he would definitely be injured now. No, you must do physical exercises when you go back. There must be no shortcomings. In addition to Tsunade, Nagato is also the first time to feel the power of physique. Ahem. Might Die walked out of the collapsed house with a wry smile. Sure enough, the 6th gate is not strong enough. Then. Open the 7th gate. Might wears a solemn face. The green chakra flame covering the whole body with the door open completely disappeared, and then a piece of blue steam produced by the evaporation of sweat began to be emitted. The powerful air current scoured the surrounding ground continuously, setting off waves of wind and waves after another. This is. The ninjas at the scene couldn't help but widen their eyes. Judging from the aura exuding from Day's body at this moment, it is stronger than many of them. Hot-blooded youth. Burn it. Might Guy 5. 6's entire dark hair was erected by the roots of the surging chakra impact in his body, and a large stretch of muscles burst out on his face. It's not as good as me. The hockey man in the outer village grabbed another shot. As Nagato said, Day's foundation is not strong, and the increase in 7th gate cannot arouse the interest of hockey men. If Lan Yu sees this scene, it can only be said that he thought of the strength of General Dai too strong. After all, during the 3 world wars, the Master's 8th gate was just barely reluctant. That 7th gate is definitely the limit currently worn, and the combat power is not as good as his future son. This momentum. Nagato is a bit solemn, considering whether to avoid it. Tiger. Might wears his hands and clasps his fists to form a tiger head gesture, and punches out a tiger-shaped high-pressure gas bullet with a super high-speed punch. With a fierce shockwave, the tigress bombarded Nagato frantically. This power. Before the shockwave arrived, there was a strong burst of breath, and Nagato only felt that his breathing was stagnant. Konoha Genin, I remember you. Chapter 87. Master Hokage, the scene is out of control. Seeking support. Advertisement Might wearing the 7th gate state made Nagato feel the pressure. However, Nagato doesn't want to avoid it. Bloody outfit. Not to be outdone, Nagato strengthened his strength and kicked the violently attacking tigress. Boom. The air was torn apart, and the strong wind instantly tore up all the surrounding buildings, and the air current shook the Konoha Shinobi in the distance. At this moment, it seems that time is still. Nagato and the tigress were in a stalemate in the air. The forces of the two sides were constantly colliding to offset each other, and everyone held their breath. This, little. A man from hockey outside the village, he saw that Nagato's physique was a scum, and he was supported purely by strength. Boom. The tigress was kicked away suddenly, and Nagato was also in pain, gritted his teeth and rushed towards Might Die, who lacked enough energy. Boom. The two crashed suddenly, then a series of dull knocks came out. In a blink of an eye, Might Die and Nagato turned into streamers one after another, flying upside down. Who won this? The outburst of Might Die made the Konoha Shinobi who were watching from afar not relieved. Sarutobi also breathed a sigh of relief suddenly, although not sure to win, but at least people who understand the Invisible Empire are not invincible. There are definitely weaknesses, but it is not very clear before 07. Hoo-ha. Huh, I'm sorry, Mr. Hokage, I can only do this at the moment. Might Die panted violently and vomited blood, and the blue steam gradually subsided. His whole body was exuding scorched heat, and he fell straight down. Obviously, the 7th gate is too heavy for the current Dai, because the foundation is not enough, and he can't exert absolute power. There is no master at the 8th gate. 10 years later, during the 3 world wars. The 35-year-old Might Die exploded after 20 years of hard training and barely mastered the 8th gate of the master, only to kill 4 of the 7 Ninto swords. There is still a lot of gap between its foundation and the later Guy. Ninja swords 7 people, Guy's 7th gate is enough to solve them all. Take a good rest, you are Konoha's hero. Sarutobi instantly changed to hold on to the fallen referee, realizing that Dai was still in a coma, and he was relieved immediately. Sarutobi now cherishes Konoha's combat power very much. Although Day's outbreak is not very strong, it has given him enough surprises. And this forbidden technique can be popularized completely. Can't learn too much, even 1 or 2 are fine. The Invisible Empire puts great pressure on Sarutobi, and no force wants to let it go. A ninja came instantaneously. Master Hokage, that Nagato can't be found. Before Sarutobi could say anything, another ninja arrived and said urgently. Master Hokage, Hitaki Tsukumo rushed out from the southwest corner of Konoha with his tribe, and we couldn't stop it. What? Sarutobi is full of murderous aura, which proves that Hitaki Tsukumo is really rebellious. But at this moment another ninja arrived. Master Hokage, there are people from the Invisible Empire at the root, and fighting is breaking out. Damn, there are people. Sarutobi was about to speak, when he saw a ninja hurriedly coming again. His heart suddenly burst. Under what circumstances won't Lan Yu also come, right? Hokage-sama, fighting broke out in the Senju clan, and it was confirmed that Uchiha Makoto was invaded by the Demon King Lan Yu. Sarutobi. Who else? Keep talking. Sure enough, Sarutobi did not disappoint, and one person came again and quickly said. Hokage-sama, Uchiha Fugaku takes people to the Senju clan. The scene is uncontrollable. It's messed up, it's all messed up. Sarutobi felt a mess in his brain. How many people came to the Invisible Empire? Fortunately, Sarutobi has rich experience and immediately ordered. Anbu sent the 4th, 8th, and 9th Brigade to chase Hitaki Tsukumo. Even if he can't keep him, he will keep his people behind. The 3rd, 5th, 6th and 6th teams go to the Senju clan. 1st, 2nd, 7th Brigade, follow me to the roots. The rest of the ninjas stabilize Konoha's parties, and must ensure the safety of civilians, and report to suspicious people immediately. After speaking, Sarutobi Hiruzen hurriedly led people towards the roots. Danzo, don't make any accidents, advertisement, puff cough cough. To the southwest, outside Konoha, Nagato was on his knees, coughing up blood. There is a dent in his chest, which is also full of cracks, and he is constantly bleeding. Dazed Tigress directly injured him. Such a weak ninja can hurt you. Uchiha Madara, who brought Nagato from the ruins, hugged his arms and said lightly, it seems that the rapid growth has made you also have huge weaknesses and poor physical skills. Knowing that you can't stop it, why don't you avoid it in the realm of shadows? For that, the Quincy system is indeed very comprehensive. But if you want a Grand Master, you have to spend more time. The little ghosts of the Holy Legion are still far away. Basically, it is a big move. The little ghosts can't play with such delicate operations as physical skills. He is genin no matter what. Nagato wiped off his blood and smiled openly. Moreover, a man who is willing to give everything to precious things deserves my respect with blood. Madness. Uchiha Madara snorted coldly. It's a long way to go even playing passionately in this half-hearted physique. If you clearly see that physical skills are invincible, won't you hide? What are you going to do? Guy. You? Immediately in front, nearly 100 figures appeared. It was the tribe led by Hitaki Shumo, and there were many Konoha shinobi chasing behind. Quickly, catch up with them. Don't worry about Hitaki Tsukumo, take down his people first. A burst of sound made many people of the Hitaki family panic. The smaller the family, the more united it is. There are not many people in the Hitaki clan, and they respect Hitaki Shumo, the leader. When White Fang spoke, we walked straight away. Coincidentally, all the Hitaki clan happened to be at home. In this way, a lot of time was omitted for Hitaki Shumo. But how to escape Anbu's hunt is a problem. The Hitaki clan all looked at Hitaki Tsukumo. Quickly cut. When Hitaki Shumo turned around, holding the White Fang short sword, he struck a white sword, and directly drew a long and narrow gully on the ground. The shocked Anbu elite suddenly retreated. Although Hitaki Shumo is called the White Fangs because of the creation of the physical magic Thousand Years of Death, but also because of the terrifying lethality of Thousand Years of Death. But he is more Grandmaster swordsmanship. It's safe. Taking advantage of the chaos and leaving with so many people, Hitaki 747 Shumao cannot guarantee that everyone is fine, and if something goes wrong, there will be casualties. I can see the figure of Haki in front of me, and I feel relieved immediately. No one can stop Ninja Shira. Master Madara. Hitaki Tsukumo spoke respectfully, and immediately led the tribe behind Uncle Ban. The Konoha shinobi also stopped, and they were really indifferent men with arms in front of them, which puts too much pressure on them. Far surpassing 3rd Hokage, the leader of the team solemnly said. You are. Shenluo Tianjung, too lazy to talk to Anbu Ninja. Uchiha Madara raised his hand and attacked. Boom. The terrible repulsive force burst out, flattening the ground in an instant, and directly tore nearly 100 Anbu elites into blood fog. All in a flash. So strong. Who is this man? He is so handsome. Guru, is it too late for me to apprentice? The Hitaki's eyes widened. Madara's invincible gesture of gestures was deeply impressed in his heart. In addition to the Demon King Lan Yu, the Empire also has this kind of powerhouse. For a while, the impetuous Hitaki clan looked forward to the future. Hitaki saw that the people were so relieved, and he couldn't help but feel relieved a lot. In this way, he can serve the Empire wholeheartedly, practice hard, and then find a girl in his free time to give birth to a Hitaki. It's no use staying here, you go back. After Uchiha Madara finished speaking, he looked in Konoha's direction with extremely cold eyes. I finally perceive your presence, Black Zetsu. Chapter 88, The Seal of Li Sishang, Feel My Wrath, Black Zetsu, Seeking Support. Advertisement at the route. A few minutes ago, after sensing Nanako's location, Kushina hurried over. Looking at this empty ground, he directly released a medium-sized sacred loss. Boom. The divine destruction directly exploded the ground, and after the collapse, a deep underground passage was exposed. Who is it? No, someone invaded. Dozens of figures came out from the passage, looking at the angry red-haired beautiful girl outside for a moment. I just grabbed one the day before yesterday, why is it another redhead? Thinking of something, a root ninja's complexion changed drastically. No, she is Uzumaki Kushina who was taken away by Lan Yu, hurry up. Die to me. Too lazy to talk nonsense with these root ninjas, Kushina directly broke out with Ryatsu. At the moment when their bodies were stagnant, dozens of small divine destructions were shot out from their fingertips, and they were all destroyed immediately. Just as Kushina was about to enter, a cold voice came from the passage. You better stop, otherwise I can't guarantee what will happen to Uzumaki Nanako. You dare? Kushina couldn't help clenching her fists, and her cheerful eyes suddenly cooled down. You won't understand, despair to the point of mine. Danzo walked out of the passage step by step, looking at Kushina sullenly. Daily despair and pain, every day when life is worse than death, nightmare every night. You don't understand at all, this guy must die today. Although Kushina hasn't seen her cousin yet, she can sense that she is underground. You are dead today. Uzumaki Kushina took a deep breath to calm his anger, and his Ryotsu gradually improved. When I was about to take Danzo down in no time, quack. I saw a few Kuwu no angle and extremely tricky lacing towards Danzo. Not only that, after Kuinai's projection, another blonde teenager broke out at a speed that was unattainable in normal days. Like a yellow flash, take the short sword and kill Danzo. Hand over Nanako, but the blonde boy came quickly and went quickly. Danzo's eyes were cold, and he avoided the attacking Kunai directly, and kicked the blonde boy out. Puff cough, damn it, Namikaze Minato hit the ground hard. When it was determined that Uzumaki Nanako was captured by Danzo, his brain was congested and only anger was left. If he has Sharingan, maybe he can jump directly to Rinnegan. Although a bit exaggerated, it also shows how angry Minato is. Obito. Got it, women can make people lose their senses. Boom. Chances are, all of Kushina's Ryotsu gathered at one point and directly suppressed Danzo. When Danzo's body stagnated, Kushina and Danzo passed by. A spiritual blade directly cut Danzo into two pieces. Splashing blood spilled all over the earth, multiple divine destruction. Why? Even so, Kushina still couldn't understand her hatred, and when she turned around, she shot dozens of small divine destructions from her fingers. Danzo's body was blown up into a blood mist, and there was no bone left. Namikaze Minato was stunned. Danzo died like this? Why do you want to blow up your body? I still think about the pain. Disgusting, guy, it's so cheap for you. Uzumaki Kushina wanted to say some vicious words to abuse Danzo, but his head was still very clean. Immediately rushed to the root channel, this is. Kushina just rushed into the passage and couldn't help but pause. Before, she had sensed that there were nearly 100 Ryotsu in the passage, but she didn't care, it was just a bunch of waste. But as soon as I walked in, I saw that these nearly 100 root ninjas were engraved with dense and mysterious black curses, which were extremely evil and weird. Seal of Li Sisheng. Kushina's eyes narrowed. The Uzumaki clan is the family of the Grandmaster sealing technique. She learned a lot from Mito, even if she didn't learn some, she could understand it at a glance. The Uzumaki forbidden technique ghoul is sealed, and there is a part of the seal of the 4 elephants. The Li 4 elephants were sealed by the Uzumaki clan as a one-shot kill technique. She didn't expect Danzo to hide so many ultimate moves in the tunnel, and nearly 100 ninjas used them together, even she could not imagine the power. Kill her. Nearly 100 root ninjas rushed to see Kushina as soon as they saw Kushina, so as to activate the seal of the 4 elephants and kill one of them as soon as they got close to Kushina. Lingza blasts. Kushina took a step back, and a violent explosion of spiritual power appeared in her hand. The powerful and indefensible explosive bomb directly exploded in the root ninja group, and more than 24 root ninjas died on the spot in the blink of an eye. Give everything to Lord Danzo. The remaining root ninjas didn't care about any pain at all, instead they were all full of morbid enthusiasm. Li the seal of the 4 elephants, advertisement between the lightning and the fire, the root ninja directly activated the seal. Dozens of ninjas began to spray a pool of pitch black liquid up and down, and then a huge black ball of light exploded, submerging all the surrounding objects in it. Boom. The black light gradually faded. The root passage completely disappeared, leaving only the circular giant pit, and all the objects in the middle were completely sealed. At this moment too, there was a cry of excitement and cruel laughter. Ha 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 ha, finally, I finally killed one. Under Namikaze Minato's horrified and angry gaze, Danzo walked out from another place intact, and laughed wildly. See, are you there? What comes from Lan Yu's invincible power, it's not dead. Izanagi. Record yourself, within the effective time, even death can be restored to the moment recorded. Uchiha is not easy to mess with now, but Danzo still used a lot of methods to get a few Sharingan on his arm. What does this mean? Danzo asked himself as if he was crazy, and then said with great certainty. This shows. Lan Yu is not invincible, he will also die, he will sooner or later. Are you happy too early? Before Danzo's excitement was over, Kushina's indifferent voice came. Danzo's expression changed drastically, how could he be intact? He knew that the people of the Invisible Empire had the ability to dodge extremely quickly, but he also knew that Kushina's heart was not very old and had little experience. That's why I used words to irritate Kushina. When she lost control of her emotions and entered the passageway, she activated the seal of the 4 elephants. This was Danzo's plan. But why is it all right? Thank you for letting me understand what your majesty said, keep calm in any situation. Although Uzumaki Kushina is so grateful, but his eyes are so cold, that is the look of the dead. Go ahead, how do you want to die? Kushina looked at Danzo coldly, not in a hurry, but thinking. She is pretty sure. Danzo was killed by her just now, but he was resurrected in a blink of an eye, which is too weird. Pull to Ling's space to fight. Death. Ah, now I am more painful than death. He didn't even kill a little girl, and listening to the turmoil around Konoha, Danzo was a little weak in resentment, and then he smiled cruelly. There is a forbidden technique originally prepared for Lan Yu, I found you, Black Zetsu. At the next moment, a voice full of killing intent suddenly sounded, and Danzo's heart was careless. You are. Naruto. Danzo just turned his head and saw a man wearing a red armor and a tyrannical hairstyle, looking at him indifferently. This face, it pulled Danzo's memory into his youth in an instant, causing his body to tremble. He is still alive. Black Zetsu, who has been watching the show with Danzo, is even more miserable. Didn't the other party be hit by Lan Yu and fell down? With that body that briefly returned to its peak, the result would only die feeble, but now? Not only was he still alive, but his tone was colder than ever, and his killing intent was vertical and horizontal. Not good. Thinking that Lan Yu might have told him the facts, Black Zetsu became horrified. Without hesitation, he prepared to leave Danzo's body and turned into a black man to escape. But Black Zetsu was shocked by all kinds of emotions and took a little slower. Feel my anger. At the moment he was preparing to move, Uchiha Madara opened his 5 fingers, his hands bursting with sharp spiritual power. He grabbed Danzo's head and squeezed it fiercely. Ah! Danzo and Black Zetsu screamed at the same time, extremely, Jiao painful? The spiritual power in Madara's hand is like hundreds of millions of tiny needles, constantly inflicting cruel acupuncture on the soul of Black Zetsu. As for Danzo, who made the two of them become one spirit at the moment, and was burdened by Black Zetsu. Ah! The soul, spirit, and will are suddenly riddled with blemishes. Black Zetsu has never felt such pain before, and his heart is full of fear. Ah! Master Ban. I am your will. Black Zetsu's painful words immediately made Uchiha Madara speak blankly. My will? Then I killed you, isn't it more reasonable? Otsutsuki, Black Zetsu. Boom. A word burst in Black Zetsu's mind, and even made him forget the pain. Ultimate despair was full of heart, and Black Zetsu felt an unprecedented panic replenishment. Come out. Uchiha Madara directly dropped Black Zetsu from Danzo. Danzo twitched all over and fell to the ground, not knowing his life or death. Seeing this scene, Kushina quietly walked to Danzo's side. Holding a watermelon knife, no, the spirit blade, facing Danzo's body barrel, blood splattered all over the floor. Can't wait to catch Danzo into a hornet's nest. Uchiha Madara. Is the little girl so cruel? End chapter 89. Reincarnation technique, Madara second Hokage, seeking support. Advertisement. No, don't kill me, Lord Madara, don't kill me. Black Zetsu yelled in a panic. No matter how hard he struggled, he couldn't get out of the spiritual power cage of the class. Seeing that Black Zetsu was so unbearable, Uchiha Madara's expression became even colder. It's unbelievable. You are the younger brother of Sage of Six Paths. It's ridiculous. Sage of Six Paths. He deserves it too. When it comes to Sage of Six Paths, Black Zetsu's eyes are full of deep resentment, and the expression in his eyes is colder than the show. In order to save your mother, there is nothing in dignity that can't be abandoned. As long as you don't kill me, I will accept any insult or injury. It's still worth seeing. Uchiha Madara knew everything from Lan Yu. If it weren't for Black Zetsu who really mistreated him, even he could not help but admire Black Zetsu's great perseverance, great wisdom, and great filial piety. Working hard for thousands of years just to save the mother, only Black Zetsu in the ninja world persisted. Is it Black Zetsu? Mei Shin Nai, while holding the spirit blade into Danzo, looked at Black Zetsu from the side. How can Ban join the Empire without arousing everyone's interest? Dig deep, plus White Zetsu's big mouth, Black Zetsu's pit of Madara uncle was exposed. While everyone in the Empire was stunned, they were also very curious about Black Zetsu. But Ban's tone was still very cold. Is the last words finished? But at this moment, Black Zetsu in his hand suddenly smiled. Jia, what can you do to me? Uchiha Madara's face suddenly became cold, and the strength in his hands became a bit stronger. But Black Zetsu didn't care, and instead laughed louder. I didn't know how long it would take 750 to complete the plan at the beginning, but there will definitely be too many accidents in the process. How do you think I survived these years? Black Zetsu's body began to twist, and sneered. I will never let the body appear before Infinite Tsukuyomi has not displayed it. For this, I completely divided my spiritual will a long time ago. What you have seen from the beginning is this clone of my will, Before Black Zetsu finished speaking, Uchiha Madara squeezed his head indifferently. The tyrannical spiritual power crushed Black Zetsu's body 100 times, 100 times. Uzumaki Kushina, 2-level reversal? Oh my god. Is this the boss who controls everything behind the scenes, really, In order to realize the plan, I even divided my spiritual will and turned it into a real entity clone, really cruel to myself. Good, very good. Uchiha Madara was expressionless, but from the trembling hands, he could tell how uneasy he was. Before Black Zetsu left, he also performed a wave of god-level acting skills. Uncle Ban said that he was eye-opening. Could it be that what he was going to say before was about the Black Zetsu clone? Before Uchiha Madara thought of leaving, Lan Yu seemed to have not finished speaking. He couldn't wait to come to Konoha. Lan Yu. You guessed it. Before Lan Yu saw the future, he understood that the current Black Zetsu was just an avatar of will. Even Lan Yu was surprised. The original work has never shown this, or in other words, before Black Zetsu revealed his identity, he didn't have many roles. It wasn't until the moment that Black Zetsu backstabbed the class that his identity was revealed. Therefore, before Black Zetsu revealed itself, no one knew if it was the main body. According to the identity of a behind-the-scenes planner, the avatar of the physical will is the most necessary method for Black Zetsu to prepare. The real behind-the-scenes controllers will never show up easily. At the final stage, the body will be used to announce its coming. Wonderful, really wonderful. A figure clapped its hands and walked out of the shadows, and the eyes of the visitors were full of jealousy. Kushina, who had captured Danzo several $100s, was about to grab her soul after she died completely, but her body suddenly disappeared and came out from another direction. This made Kushina unable to understand. Uchiha Madara's expression was cold. Izanagi? As the ancestor of Uchiha, Danzo's phenomenon of returning to the original state after the death made him think of this technique easily and felt Sharingan's pupil power advancing. Izanagi is really unreasonable. We must know that Kushina's spiritual blade itself has the effect of harming the soul. But even so, Izanagi was still restored to his state. Uchiha Madara. Looking at Madara, Danzo was horrified. As one of the few people in the current era who has seen Madara with his own eyes, the moment Madara appeared, he recognized it. He is also one of the strongest two people he has ever known. Advertisement, of course, cognition belongs to cognition. Danzo doesn't understand Madara's specific power very well. Otherwise, Suzuo, who is holding the two pillars of Kuusao, will not be stunned. Danzo suppressed the panic in his heart and said in a condensed voice, I know that I can't hide from your perception, it's nothing more than death. I've had enough these days. You deserve to dance too? Looking at the reappearing Danzo indifferently, Uchiha Madara slowly raised his hand. It's not that easy to kill me. Saying that he is not afraid of death, Danzo Kiin slipped very hard, pressed hard on the ground, and laughed frantically. Haha, witness the power of God. The ground trembled, and suddenly two coffins broke through. AHFG. Uchiha Madara stopped moving, and stared at the coffin on the left side with the initials written inexplicably. Brush. At this moment, Namikaze Minato took Nanako out of the root tunnel. Kushina looked over and saw Namikaze Minato's expression low and confused, while Nanako looked all right, just a little weak. Boom. The lids of the two coffins suddenly exploded and shot directly towards Madara not far away. Uchiha Madara's eyes lifted slightly, and Ryotsu swept out, directly shaking the lid to pieces. Is this feeling the ninjutsu of my unlovable brother? Really, how many times I have said it, don't play with the soul of the dead. Except water style should be banned. Before the dust was gone, there was a thick voice with a little dissatisfaction, a little annoyance, and a rash. This voice made the body tremble slightly. How long? I don't know how long I haven't heard this sound, it's still so. Oh beating. Brother, one person killed another with a kitchen knife. You can't blame the seller of the kitchen knife. Hey, you finally know how good your ninjutsu is, Brother Smelly. Only saw the ninjas wearing red and blue armors come out of the coffin, and the invisible aura radiating from them blows away the dust. Senju Hashirama. Senju Tobarama, Shodai, Nidame, long time no see. Danzo's voice sounded, only to attract Senju Tobarama. Kushina can't help being stunned. Is this a movie of first generation and second generation? What? As soon as Senju Hashirama walked out, he felt a breath more familiar to him than his wife Mito. Then, as soon as he turned his head and saw a figure of Haki looking at him with complicated expressions, Hashirama's eyes widened. What? When Uchiha Madara's face turns dark, you will be surprised if you are surprised, don't break the words. It makes people think you call me a Madara or Madara, it's really annoying. Senju Tobarama suddenly became very solemn, and saw the big pillar exclaiming again. No, you are not Madara. Senju Hashirama directly denied the energy in the perception that was different from chakra and immediately laughed. Madara has gone to the Pure Land, but you are really like him, but still not as handsome as me. Ha 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 ha. Are you kidding me? This stubborn man is really the god of ninjas? Nanako and Namikaze Minato, who were not far away, were shocked just now, and they were all shocked at the moment. First Shodai. It just so happened that Sarutobi Hiruzen just led the team, and seeing this scene, it was all petrified in place. Don't be ashamed here, idiot. Uchiha Madara was covered with black lines, and his figure flashed towards Senju Hashirama. In an instant, Senju Hashirama flew upside down. Flying Thunder God Slash. At this moment, the very alert Senju Tobarama moved as soon as he saw Madara. Akumo towards Madara with the mark of Flying Thunder God blasted past. His figure also disappeared instantly. Many people were shocked in their hearts, so clear. The next moment, under everyone's horrified eyes, Senju Tobarama, who teleported to the front of Madara, was grabbed by the neck by the class leader and hit the ground fiercely. Puff chick chick. Immediately afterwards, his right hand shot out more than a dozen spiritual blades of condensed spiritual power, and all of them were inserted into Tobarama's body and soul. Nailed Senju Tobarama firmly in place. In an instant, kill in seconds. Chapter 90. My class has been waiting for this day for a long time. The death of Senju Tobarama, seeking support. Advertisement: Senju Tobarama was killed in seconds. This made everyone present in disbelief, but it was just Madara's normal operation. After all, the soil rebirth is rebirth. Even if the container is perfect, it can't exert all its strength. Madara can kill him with his eyes closed. When your opponent is distracted, wait for an opportunity to attack. Your trick is already bad. Seeing Tobarama lying on the ground like a dog, Uchiha Madara's eyes were full of disdain to kill. Use your eldest brother to distract me. You are really sinister, Tobarama. To each other, Senju Tobarama was still tough even though he was floating like this. But the heart is very dignified. It is really Uchiha Madara, and it is the young Uchiha Madara alive. And also appeared in Konoha. What the hell is he going to do? Looking at Tobirama, Uchiha Madara felt endless anger and said coldly, I have thought that you, the number 1 speed ninja, will also fall into this field. Second Hokage, the enmity between the two can hardly be explained in a lifetime. In a sense, now let him choose one from Black Zetsu and Tobirama to die. Madara will definitely choose Tobirama. It is a grievance for decades. Guru, from beginning to end, Sarutobi Hiruzen and others kept silent. It's messed up, it's all messed up. First generation movie, second generation movie, Uchiha Madara, what kind of fairy characters are these? You be asterisk 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 D, if you want to kill it, don't talk nonsense. Senju Tobirama struggled, the dozens of spiritual blades pierced his soul. It made him feel an unprecedented pain, and was also shocked by the power of Madara attacking the soul. I have never heard of your request. Uchiha Madara drew out a spiritual blade, and the killing intent burst out. I really thank your disciple for sending you to me. I have been waiting for this day for a long time. In the original book, after killing Tobirama in an eyeless state, Ben sarcastically turned around and left. This surprised many people. Because Izuna was killed, Ben, the Brokon, wanted Tobirama to die 10,000 times, but didn't kill Tobirama at this time, just because he was Hashirama's brother? But Hashirama is dead, and Tobirama is delivered again. No one can limit Ben's killing intent anymore. It may be because Madara, who is eyeless, cannot kill Tobirama. After all, it is the body of Kakuo. Only Rinnegan can use the human realm to extract its soul. It is only a seal. Using yin and yang to escape can only completely destroy Chengtu's physical body. Although the soul will be damaged, it is not the death of the soul. But now, Tobirama is not dead, my heart is hard to calm down. Puff. Ben's spirit blade pierced directly through Tobirama's head, strangling him fiercely. A real pain of death spread to the soul, and Tobirama looked at him with disbelief. Don't want to believe it, Izuna also doesn't want to believe that he will die in the hands of your trash. Uchiha Madara is extremely decisive, one more knife. Body and soul, cut 2 pieces. As everyone looked sideways, Senju Tobirama didn't even let out a roar, his soil body turned into debris and disappeared. And Kushina could clearly see that the soul energy of second Hokage's collapse was absorbed by Madara. At this point, Senju Tobirama is completely dead. Teacher, was killed? At this moment, Danzo was in a cold sweat. Damn Black Zetsu, didn't you say that the body of White Zetsu can perfectly display the strength of the unearthed characters? But not only was he killed by Ban's spite, but he was also slaughtered? In his cognition, the former Madara was killed by Hashirama, so it was an enemy. Tobirama was dissatisfied with Madara, and he would attack after seeing the opposition, so he did not control and exert himself. But one died in an instant, the other one hasn't come back yet, and I don't know where to go to play. Danzo hurriedly tried to manipulate the big pillar, but Mu-Ran found out that Tranzo was directly cracked open and lost control. But why not come back? Is the idea well understood? After killing Tobirama, Uchiha Madara was refreshed. Even if I didn't kill Black Zetsu, the discomfort caused by it disappeared. After all, Tobirama had been discomforting for decades. This guy. Ban is also wondering why Hashirama hasn't come back. Perceiving the past, he found that Ryatsu of Hashirama had reached the Valley of the End. Brush. When Uchiha Madara disappeared, everyone looked at each other. Hold on, let us hold on to what happened. The Invisible Empire attacked Konoha by many people, blooming on all sides. Hokage Rock was destroyed, Hokage resurrected, and Hokage died. Wow, at this moment, things happened suddenly. Advertisement. A brilliant arrow cut through the void. Boom. Under the horror of everyone, the arrow directly penetrated Danzo's heart, splashing a large amount of blood. The powerful destructive force directly tore Danzo in half, and fell to the ground extremely miserably. The third time, I see if you can come back to life. Kushina held Nanako in one hand, and once again condensed the divine destruction with the other, ready to attack at any time. Although it is not clear why Danzo was able to be resurrected before, he just killed it all the time. If it doesn't work, I will drag it to the Lings of Space to kill, and I can't escape. Uzumaki Kushina, do you know what you are doing? Seeing this scene, Sarutobi was extremely angry. Why did he bully Danzo? Fortunately, Nanako lightly pointed at Nanako and asked seriously. Do you know how my cousin was taken away by Danzo? Seeing Sarutobi's expression stagnating for a while, Kushina couldn't help taking a deep breath. Is this the Hokage-sama who once said in the ninja school to protect all the villagers? It's really disappointing. The Konoha Shinobi people looked at it, and they were puzzled. Seeing a lot of ninjas coming over, Sarutobi said solemnly, it may be Danzo's fault that caught Uzumaki Nanako, but you shouldn't kill him. Betrayed Konoha and killed Hokage's assistant, you are inexcusable. For a while, many Konoha Shinobi people looked at Kushina with indignation. Without waiting for everyone to do anything, Namikaze Minato stood up, looking at Sarutobi with a complicated expression. Hokage-sama, no matter what the reason, you shouldn't hurt Nanako. 0. Look for flowers, moreover, you lied to me. Namikaze Minato was hurt inside. Hearing Minato saying this, Sarutobi didn't react for a while, and then there was something in the mouth. Why, for a girl, you have to betray Konoha? The meaning of Sarutobi's words is, the opportunity is here, take advantage of this to defect and join the Invisible Empire. He believes that Minato's intelligence can understand this sentence. After all, it has been determined before that, Letting a child like Minato with extremely high talents to be undercover, it is very likely to succeed in the position. Defeating under the watchful eyes of Kushina, the Empire's elite, would definitely make Lan Yu trustworthy. A chance. Namikaze Minato did understand the meaning of Sarutobi. But this is not what he thought. When I went to the route to save Nanako, and saw Nanako who was weak in the dungeon, Minato felt that his sky was collapsed, and he couldn't breathe with heartache. Even if Nanako didn't suffer any injuries, she was just depressed, but it almost broke all his beliefs. What if he comes a step late? The more I think about it, the more painful it becomes. Sarutobi doesn't understand that the children of ninja are getting more and more precocious, especially when Minato's wolf fire has not been finalized. To hurt Nanako and deceive him again is tantamount to humiliation. Yes, I want to betray Konoha. Whether it was a mission or being punishable, Namikaze Minato squeezed his hand and said this. Sarutobi's eyes flashed brightly, and he shouted, "Give me all, kill them." Summoning technique Dream Taper. Under the stunned eyes of everyone, Danzo's body, whose heart was pierced to death, disappeared and reappeared behind Kushina. On the spot, he immediately used the summoning technique to summon his own summoning beast Dream Burial. The feet of a tiger, the body of a bull, and the nose of an elephant, the huge body is red all over. Wind-style vacuum Deu. Danzo's hands are connected to the seal. Suddenly took a deep breath and ejected countless fierce air bombs, trying to penetrate Kushina after the suction power of summoning beast Dream Taper increased. This guy is resurrected again. I directly ignored Danzo's attack. Kushina turned around and projected the large divine destruction already condensed in her hands. Boom. The divine destruction directly smashed the ground under Danzo's feet, and he and the summoning beast were torn into blood mist. Master Danzo. Watching Danzo being killed again, the Konoha Shinobi men recovered and prepared to launch a fierce offensive, all preparing for Jian or Shuriken. Also at this time, enforced, at some point, a beautiful and gentle figure appeared behind Konoha Shinobi and raised his hand to activate the holy text. In an instant, all ninjas in range. Even Sarutobi Hiruzen is a follower, as if being attacked by a repulsive force, all flying out uncontrollably. Makoto. Kushina looked at the beautiful girl who appeared with joy. Also noticed that she was still pulling a half-year-old boy with the Lingza chain. 17 Chapter 91. Defeated and fame. Shimura Danzo's death, Sarutobi suffocated. Advertisement. Let go of me, you rude woman. I can recognize your costumes. Isn't my sister your companion? Why do you want to catch me? The boy felt very embarrassed when he was tied up. He kept yelling, but Makoto didn't say a word to him from beginning to end. Entering the Senju clan, he was tied up as soon as he found him. Because of this, there was a conflict with the Senju clan, and because of Makoto's appearance, Uchiha was attracted. Kushina chuckled, "It's because your sister is in the Empire that I want to take you back, Senju Nawaki." "Damn it, I don't." Senju Nawaki was talking, glanced at Kushina, and suddenly thought of something. "Well, I will go to the Invisible Empire with you, but, can you let me go? I can run by myself." This Kushina, who used to come to the Senju clan frequently, was obviously younger than him, but he was already famous in the ninja world, which made him envious. And the sister's business. The root of everything lies in the devil Lan Yu. It just so happens that the people in the clan have not let him go out, chance. Ah, why? Obviously, I have been planning for so long, why can't even a woman be killed? Danzo, who appeared again, felt that there was only one Sharingan left in the 753, and was killed by Mei Shin-na again and again. Danzo was a little broken and roared. This is not the state of 11 Sharingan on the right arm more than 20 years later. It's not just that the Hashirama cells in his body are not as strong as in the original book, so just 5 Sharingan strengthens the mental energy and balances the physical energy. And now Uchiha is not easy to mess with, the 5 Sharingan are secretly saved by various opportunities. Now, there is only one left. Oh, wood-style cell broke out. Just when Danzo was angry and wanted to go desperately. Suddenly he felt a tearing pain in his body, which made his complexion change drastically. I saw countless huge branches emerging directly from his arm, piercing his body altogether. This is the Sarutobi Konoha Shinobi who just got up opened their eyes. Uchiha Makoto, let me go. Wood-style. The ninja of the Senju clan who chased after Nawaki was taken away became dull at this scene. Behind him is the Uchiha clan. It was Uchiha Fugaku who was in the lead. He glanced at Makoto and then looked at Danzo's arm with cold eyes. What a Hokage assistant, with so many Sharingan on him, do you want to change your name? Uchiha group was. After the mental and physical energy is out of balance, Sharingan's pupil power can no longer be hidden. First timing. Fugaku sensed the remaining Sharingan in Danzo's hand, as well as several Sharingan with missing pupils. In Fugaku's view, Danzo's death 10,000 times is not enough. Hiss. With the imbalance of energy, the ribbon on Danzo's hand was completely broken. A few scalp-numbing Sharingan were exposed, and wood constantly erupted from his body, and everyone present was stunned. Senju family. Danzo of damn it, you must die. Uchiha. Kill him. Kill the roots. Kill his family. Kill his mother. At the moment, the scene is weird. Senju and Uchiha gritted their teeth and looked at Danzo in pain. Sarutobi Hiruzen opened his mouth, very bitter, and didn't know what to say for a long time. The Konoha Shinobi people are even more troublesome, and they feel extremely disgusted in their hearts. Ah, kill me, Sarutobi, kill me quickly. various energies and wood style are constantly destroying his whole body. Danzo felt that even Lan Yu was not so painful when he mutilated his fifth limb, and his whole body was tearing. He was even out of control, and he couldn't even commit suicide. But it is more painful than the body. With so much darkness exposed under the public, even if you don't look at it, you can feel the various disgusting eyes cast by countless ninjas. Ruinous, notorious, disgraced reputation. This made the proud Danzo unbearable. It was better to die. Danzo. Listening to Danzo's begging, Sarutobi couldn't help but lose his voice. He never thought of one day, Danzo will fall to this end. What to do, what to do? Danzo can't die, or throw the pot to Orochimaru, Sarutobi thought. Orochimaru. Boom, in an instant, an arrow fell on Danzo, blasting him to pieces. Boom boom boom. Immediately afterwards, dozens of small divine destructions turned all the fragments into blood mist. Zizi. Kushina reached out and held Danzo's struggling soul. Ho 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 ho. Danzo's soul struggled, making a sound of pain that ordinary people could not hear, and his eyes were full of fear and shock. Kushina can actually grab the soul? I got it, finally got it. Advertisement: the source of power of the invisible empire is the soul. Ching 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 ching, but Danzo couldn't speak. Even if he spoke, he couldn't spread it. Die. Kushina keeps pouring spiritual power into Danzo's soul, like 1,000 swords. With no one to see Konoha, Danzo's soul was smashed and killed, completely dissipated. As everyone was dumbfounded, Kushina retracted her hand and said casually, "This disgusting guy is too noisy, don't thank me." After that, Kushina looked at Mikoto very puzzled. I killed him several times before, and he was resurrected without injury. Does it have anything to do with Sharingan? Mikoto nodded and said, it should be. Sharingan forbidden technique Izunaki's role. Then he is really dead now. If he is not dead, then he will be taken to the Lingza space and killed 100 times. Well, I just sensed that the energy is out of balance, which directly destroyed all Sharingan and cannot be resurrected. That's good, Mikoto, where's your family? Senior Shuamao has taken over and is outside the village. Well, let's go then. Konoha Shinobi would love Konoha Shinobi if no one else said so. Do you think we don't exist? Damn it, Sarutobi's eyes were bloodshot and he was very angry, and chakra broke out. Boom. Kushina is faster than Sarutobi, who opened the Eucharist directly first. The powerful Ryotsu swept the audience, making everyone's breathing stagnate, and Sarutobi also stopped. Lingza explosive bullet. The ends of Kushina's wings immediately blasted a dense array of Lingza light balls, which flooded the sky and formed a Lingza explosive bomb with a diameter of tens of meters. As soon as it appears, the surrounding air pressure is increased to the limit, making it difficult to breathe zero. The pressure on Nagato, who was under the sanction of God before, is even greater. If you make another move, except for a few of the ninjas present, the rest will die. Kushina floated the explosive bombs full of destructive energy in the sky, but did not see Sarutobi and the others, who turned blue, waved their hands directly. Let's go. Kushina hugged Nanako. Mikoto touched Senju Nawaki with Reiko's chain and left quickly. Namikaze Minato took a deep look at Sarutobi Hiruzen and Konoha Village, then turned around and followed a few people away. Damn it. Seeing everyone disappear, Mitokado Homura, who was following Sarutobi, gritted his teeth and said, Sarutobi, they killed Danzo, just let them go? Why don't you take someone to chase? Sarutobi Hiruzen gave a cold snort, his face extremely blue. It's a fight with hands and feet again. There are so many Konoha shinobi around him, he can't bet on the explosive power of Kushina. It looks scarier than Tailed Beast Bomb. This made Sarutobi Hiruzen extremely frustrated and angry. Let's forget Lan Yu, now even his subordinates trample on Konoha like this. This made Sarutobi Hiruzen want to retreat from the position of Hokage, and then rush to the invisible empire to desperately. Mitokado Homura chuckled, and then said coldly, I just received a letter from 3rd Mizukage that he is going to hold the Five Shadows Conference to discuss the issue of Lan Yu. I think it is necessary to go there once, so that the invisible empire can no longer grow. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded deeply. The power of a village is absolutely impossible, only united. Danzo, I wish you happiness in the Pure Land. Danzo. Feifei, my soul is dead. When Konoha is in grief and indignation, where is the Valley of the End? In order to commemorate the Madara battle, Konoha built statues on both sides of the Valley of End for the two. The gesture of the statue is a seal of opposition. After the Battle of Zuoming in the future, the statue collapsed, showing the seal of reconciliation, symbolizing the end of fate. Now, a man with long black hair wearing a red ancient ninja armor was standing on the head of a statue, looking into the distance without knowing what he was thinking. 15.6 Brush. A man with a tyrannical hairstyle came and landed on the head of another statue. Looking at each other far away, Madara, are you here? Seeing Madara's arrival, Senju Hashirama lit up and burst into laughter. I knew you would come, and I always believed that you, who did not know why you were resurrected, would not destroy Konoha. After all, that was the home we built together. Hashirama was also relieved. In fact, as soon as Wong came out and saw Ban, he was sure that he was himself. Although Hashirama was pleasantly surprised, but the heart is also extremely shocked and worried. Danzo is obviously middle-aged, but Madara is getting younger and younger? Hashirama understood very well that his body could not exert the power of its heyday, and if Madara really wanted to do something to Konoha, it would be difficult to stop it. So, you can only come here directly regardless of anything. He believes. If you can't see yourself, you will find it. You are still as stupid as before. Uchiha Madara opened her arms indifferently. Tobirama was killed by me. Chapter 92. Hashirama. Madara, the big thing is not good. Why is your head green? Seeking support. Advertisement, will the soil-moving body also die? Hearing Ben said that Tobirama was killed, Hashirama was slightly taken aback, and then exclaimed. Madara, you are still good, you can only seal it if you replace me. Under normal circumstances, if you want to defeat the body of the rice soil, you can only seal the body or the soul. Only yin and yang, which claims to be able to invalidate all ninjutsu, can directly destroy the body of the unclean soil, but it only hurts the soul, not complete death. For a while, Hashirama thought that Madara learned how to escape from yin and yang, ruined Tobirama's earth body and sent it back to the pure land. Uchiha Madara sat down and said flatly, I destroyed his soul. Destroy the soul. Hashirama's heart was shocked, and he opened his mouth and finally did not speak. He still remembered that the two people climbed the mountain for the first time when they were adolescents, and they were talking about protecting their younger brother, the only one left. But Tobirama killed Izuna, how painful Madara should be. Hashirama has always felt guilty for this. I was always thinking of doing something to make up for the class, but in the end they parted ways. Mara, Hashirama also learned to sit down with Madara, and a moment later he suddenly shouted, causing Madara to frown. What is this guy crazy? I saw Hashirama spread his hands and shouted, I've decided. Let's build a village that belongs to us here. Madara's eyes condensed, and she clenched her hands subconsciously. The thoughts of the two, it seems to have been pulled decades ago in an instant. Hashirama fisted 07 with excitement and continued. The children don't have to kill each other here, but also build a school that allows the children to grow up and become stronger, and assign them corresponding tasks according to each person's ability and strength. In order to be able to reasonably divide the level of entrustment, it is necessary to establish a high level. In this way, the children will no longer be sent to the dangerous battlefield. This is my ideal village. Uchiha Madara doesn't know what to say, this idiot. What do you mean by repeating what you said when you were a child verbatim? Remember the happy time when you grew up together? I won't be so naive. Seeing Hashirama's expectant gaze, Madara still accepted the words very carefully. Only you can say such whimsical words. Hashirama's eyes brightened, and suddenly there was a bad feeling. The next second, sure enough. I just yelled casually, who asked you to cooperate, it's really naive, ha 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 ha. Hearing Ban's reply as he did when he was a child, Hashirama suddenly burst into laughter. This B**************. Madara's forehead blew veins violently, and coldly snorted. You are wrong. Really naive, it is a person who can't hold back his breath and is impatient. But seeing Hashirama's unstoppable laugh, Madara exploded with anger. Daime, idiot. Boom. The immense spiritual power was washed away from Madara, and Hashirama's eyes condensed. Not chakra, what can this be? In the next moment, Madara, who has become a Quincy, habitually made a sign, and immediately released a big move that made Hashirama solemn. Even if it is Mewtwo's body, you can also feel the fatalness of the soul from that kind of energy. Tobirama was killed by this energy that seemed to hurt the soul. Outside, Uchiha Madara looked deeply at Hashirama standing on the head of another statue of Endgame. Everything that had been experienced before was flashed in her mind one by one, and Madara finally made up her mind. Rinne Tensai technique. Rinnegan's pupil power is blatantly advancing. A bright green light illuminates the entire valley of End. Hashirama's eyes widened in disbelief, and pointed to Madara urgently. It's not good, your head is green. Uchiha Madara followed and almost interrupted Rinne Tensai technique. Madara gave Hashirama a fierce look and continued. Hey, my head is also green. Hashirama regained his senses and looked over his head, waves of green light swayed down, making him warm, and a strong vitality recovered extremely quickly in his body. This feeling, you can't go wrong, the soil-moving body is transforming into a flesh and blood body. At this moment Hashirama noticed that Ban's eyes had changed, and his face was solemn in astonishment. Rinnegan class, what have you done all these years when I was away? Advertisement, stop it, stop. To resurrect this kind of thing, Hashirama's first thought was that Madara would have to pay a heavy price. ZZZ. When Hashirama tried to rush to stop the class, white smoke began to rise from his body, which was the bloom of life. Boom. In an instant, the horror of Chitara, the god of ninjas, broke out, and even the statue at the feet of Hashirama began to split. Senju Hashirama, resurrection, Hōgyoku. Madara took a deep breath after the show, calming her breath. Rinne Tensai technique is the highest resurrection ninjutsu in the ninja world so far. Just like the forbidden technique of thousands of generations rebirth of oneself, if you want to violate the law of natural death, you have to pay the price of life. Under normal circumstances, there is no doubt that he will die. The reason why the original trajectory Obito can last a while after casting is because it used to be 10 tails Jinchuriki, and the power of 6 paths remains. And having Hashirama cells only prolonged some life, but it could not be saved. With the spirit as the spirit, the Quincy is really unreasonable. Madara, who used his spiritual power to use the Rinne Tensai technique, realized that he did not have the so-called mortal law. It's just that the exhaustion is great, and the body and mind are exhausted. Ban, are you okay? Hashirama jumped up from the statue hundreds of meters away and rushed over worriedly. Uchiha Madara looked up, and Rinnegan waved. Resurrect you and beat you again. Wheel Tombside Prison. There seemed to be an invisible continuous swim in the surrounding void, and several mysterious shadows that were invisible to the naked eye were shot out from the class. Madara, you. At the moment when the class looked up, Hashirama felt a strong crisis. With rich combat experience, Jien turned over halfway, but at this moment, a sharp pain came from his abdomen. Boom 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 boom. There were 4 bursts of kicks in a row. Hashirama flew upside down like lightning and plunged directly into the crack in the Valley of the End statue. Hashirama, did you know? Uchiha Madara slowly got up, and calmly stared at Hashirama in the gap. After your death, 2 wars have broken out in the ninja world, and the tail beasts you distributed are one of the confidence of all countries. What you said before, let the children never have to go to the battlefield again, it's so ridiculous. Is it ridiculous? 757. Hashirama fell silent in the crack. He had known for a long time that there would be a big battle after his death. But, Senju Hashirama said very seriously, how can it be so easy? We have limited things we can do during our lives, so we have to entrust our efforts. The younger generation will do it for us, what? Madara sneered, Junior? You are still so naive. With Konoha's F4 day group, Madara couldn't think of Konoha's future. Just destroy the reconstruction directly, Hashirama, my dream is shattered. Madara was very calm when she said this, but Hashirama was stunned, and only heard Madara continue, but, I have found a new dream. Under Hashirama's solemn gaze, Ban said very expectantly. Suppress all enemies with absolute power and unify the world of ninja. Don't rush to refute me. Directly interrupting what Hashirama wanted to say, Madara's momentum became violent. No one in this ninja world can stop us. As long as we live forever, the world of ninja is eternal peace. Who are we? Hashirama was confused. Uchiha Madara came to Hashirama and smiled faintly. You idiot won't understand. There is one thing I wanted to do very early, but I haven't done it all the time, that is. You don't know your wife who beat me, come and dance. Boom. Chapter 93. Madara vs Big Pillar, Holy Character Ability. Senluo Wanxiang, seeking support. Advertisement, come and dance, Hashirama. At the moment Madara raised her hand. Hashirama perceives a strong crisis from all directions. This made him jump out of the crack and quickly retreated to the plane without thinking about it, and patted the ground. Summoning 5 Rashomon. The ground shook and the mountains shook, and Hashirama instantly summoned 5 ghost gates with huge and incomparably blue-faced fangs of different colors. Rashomon opened his mouth wantonly, like a portal from hell. Super Shenluo Tianzheng. At the same time, it was the moment Hashirama summoned the 5 Rashomon. Madara also came instantaneously, standing on the statue of Hashirama and attacking the plane. A terrifying repulsion proceeded in a semicircle. The earth was leveled in an instant, and the power of horror continued to extend. Boom! Hashirama, who was behind Rashomon, couldn't help being shaken. All the air ahead was in a semicircle with crazy repulsion, and the tyrannical repulsion directly shattered the 5 Rashomons one after another, and even blasted out with fragments. Madara's Super Shinra Tianzheng didn't increase the scope, it didn't make sense, and the intensity was far beyond Nagato. A scene that shocked all ninjas happened. On the plain above the Valley of the End, the entire forest was flattened, and everything along the way was reduced to debris. The rolling mountains behind the statue of Hashirama. It collapsed instantly. Boom. The huge roar resounded more than 100 miles, and many people in the country of fire were alarmed. Many people in Konoha Village who had not stabilized felt their ears numb, and they all looked in the direction of the Valley of End in horror. Damn, what happened again? The angry Sarutobi Hiruzen was also full of weakness and grief. The calculation has just been calculated. Excluding others, Nagato alone killed nearly 1,000 ninjas, and caused extensive building destruction, with unpredictable losses. Dozens of huge ravines that cut Konoha across vertically and horizontally, and this alone requires a lot of time to repair. Not to mention the roots shattered again, even Danzo is dead. Come out Hashirama, you resurrected in your heyday, I don't believe you die so easily. Uchiha Madara hurried to the end of the giant pit, holding her arms in a flat tone. The attack that just rewrote the map did not cause him any fluctuations. Routine operation. Puff cough cough. A hand stretched out from the ruins, and accompanied by a light cough, Hashirama turned over and walked out with a dusty face in embarrassment. Madara, what kind of trick is this? It almost killed me. Hashirama is a little dignified, because the Super Shinra Tianzheng of the class is directly instantaneous. It is not the same as any move that I have ever known. His so-called Rashomon also collapsed instantly. To know his 5-layer Rashomon, even the 9-tailed beast bomb and the fusion attack of the Suzuzu knife can be defended and change its attack trajectory. Madara snorted coldly. Stop joking, I can't kill you with a single move. Hey, Madara, are you kidding me? Hashirama felt like he was being forced to hurt. Look at this collapsed mountain, you tell me this is flatta? Even if he wants to destroy this mountain range, at least he has to make a big move. Madara is now fully ventilated and is no longer innocent. You don't want to be labeled an idiot by me, just be serious. As Uchiha Madara said, he also self-denied. Sorry, my fault, you are an idiot, maybe you can beat you smarter. Madara actually said I was an idiot. With a black line at the end of the class, Hashirama seemed to be hit hard. He squatted directly on the ground and drew circles, full of decadence and depression. Enough. You spring stuff. Uchiha Madara looked around subconsciously, and yelled after confirming that no one was there. Sure enough, he and Hashirama couldn't get along. If you bring it back to the Empire, you won't be ashamed. If you can't take this trick, go back to the Pure Land. Susanoo. The spiritual power turned into a huge flame and enveloped Madara's body. In a blink of an eye, the Susanoo of the first stage was condensed, with 4 psychic long swords crossed together. Madara, we really haven't fought for a long time. Advertisement seeing Madara getting serious, Hashirama's surging fighting spirit filled his whole body uncontrollably. Sage mode is launched. Hashirama's hands suddenly clasped together, and an invisible breath came out immediately, and a blood-red, monster face appeared on his face and forehead. The whole person's momentum has become completely different from before. I don't care whether you died or not, but this era is no longer suitable for us. You, or the unknown your ambition, will only bring grief to the ninja world. Yes, I want to stop you, too naive. Sure enough, he still wanted to beat Hashirama half to death before talking. Uchiha Madara thought so. Madara, take out your perfect body. Seeing that Suzuo was only the first stage, Hashirama reminded him. At the same time, the almost endless chakra erupted, and the vast momentum blew away all the surrounding objects. Sage Art Wood-styled Woan joins the group and hands down. A blood-red word **za appeared in Hashirama's palm, and a huge cuboid giant wood emerged out of thin air and pressed towards the cover. This trick can directly suppress the violent Nine Tails. Dealing with a Sasuke in the first stage, in Hashirama's view, there is no problem. Hashirama, you underestimated me. Facing the sky-shielding giant tree, Uchiha Madara immediately controlled Susao's 4 knives, directly cutting out the violent sword pressure. Boom! Under Hashirama's stunned gaze, his huge giant tree was destroyed by Susao's slash in the first stage. No, not destroy. Rather, it is completely annihilated like dust. Obviously, it's just an ordinary slash. Is it that kind of special energy? Hashirama's heart was dignified, and at the moment he lost consciousness, Madara came to Hashirama in an instant, lifted his foot and kicked it hard. Subconsciously raising his right hand to block, Hashirama felt that terrifying ability again. Boom! I saw Hashirama's right hand just raised, and disappeared after being kicked by Madara. A sharp pain spread throughout Hashirama's body. The right hand disappeared, and the blood mist swayed. What kind of ability is this? Hashirama pulled away decisively, looking at his empty right hand, his face extremely heavy. This makes it difficult for him to understand. He has just resurrected to restore his state, and he lost his right hand with just one collision. Madara, it's too dangerous for you to be serious now. Don't get me wrong, I'm just experimenting with you, but I'm not serious yet. Madara's faint words made Hashirama's eyes twitch again. What has happened over the years? Madara has become more and more pretending. Madara's sacred character ability, sensual and vigorous. The power of Sun Luo, the decomposition of everything. Any attack with the power of Senluo can decompose everything qualitatively and attribute it to nothingness. The power of Vientiane, everything is reorganized. Anything affected by the power of Vientiane can be qualitatively reorganized. You can also reorganize yourself, restore your injury and state, and gain near immortality. This is what the kids said, it's almost causal and conceptual. Uchiha Madara is still more satisfied with his holy script, at least not the kind of ability that needs to be calculated. The word qualitative is close to the ability of causality. Nearly, Wang Zhao's. There is almost no power to offset this ability. But any ability has an upper limit, the current limit is. The larger the non-living body or the stronger the living body, the greater the consumption. If the consumption limit is exceeded, the ability becomes invalid. But this is not a problem. At least in the ninja world, Madara doesn't believe that besides Lan Yu, there are existences that he can't resolve. Madara, although you are very capable, I will not give up. Although the right hand was disassembled, Hashirama still broke out with a terrifying Chatten pull, one-handed seal. Sage Art Wood-style true several thousand hands tail. A deafening roar sounded, the surrounding air was vented by a burst of extremely strong wind, and the light in the entire sky was a source of light. Is the power that once easily suppressed my prestige Suzuo finally appeared? Looking up, Uchiha Madara got serious, and the blood began to boil. Wood style and strength of this size. Faintly beyond the scope of his current holy script ability, but can be improved in the future. Sure enough, only Hashirama is worthy of the title of God of Jonin. Madara. Hashirama, your one is so big, Chapter 94. True several thousand hands topped the Buddha. Hashirama was taken away by Madara, seeking support. Advertisement true several thousand hands. It is a behemoth in the true sense of ninja world, covering the sky and the sun. The huge wooden Buddha puts his hands together, and a person whose size is comparable to that of a complete body can only sit on the head of the wooden Buddha, which is extremely small. Thousands of Tongtian arms gathered behind the wooden Buddha. Any ninja is scared to see it. Hi, what is that? More than 10 miles away, the Konoha Shinobi, who was attracted by the shock caused by Madara's Super Shinra Tianjung, were all stuck in place. Even if you look at it from a distance and look at the giant Senju Buddha, everyone's scalp is shocked. The so-called terrifying tail beast, by comparison, it's just a kitty? That's wood style, hurry, go report it to Master Hokage. An extremely experienced Captain Anbu, his voice was trembling at this moment. Obviously guessed that it was the first Hokage's move that they respected. Looking at the horrible Buddha statue, I believe that third Hokage came and was shocked. The current ninja world, no one has seen the true power of the ninja god. Hashirama, excavated from the original trajectory of Chunon's exam, can only play out the small woods covering the house, and even so, it makes third Hokage extremely dignified. If you see true several thousand hands, few people still have the courage to stand. True several thousand hands. The extremely strong energy fluctuations in the Land of Fire attracted the attention of Lan Yu, who had just left the Invisible Empire and walked leisurely towards the Land of Thunder. Looking at the past, it seemed that after striding over the barriers, Lan Yu saw the giant. With this one trick, redefined the limit of Super Shadow. Hashirama's perfect sage body, horror channeler, although there is a gap with the 6 paths level, it has broken the imagination of ninjas from all over the world. 760 the entire ninja world, except for Suzuo of Sage of 6 paths, there is no ninjutsu that can beat this size. Ha 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 ha. Seeing true several thousand hands appeared, Uchiha Madara's blood was ignited and couldn't help laughing. Hashirama, as expected, only you can make me so excited. Senju Hashirama stood on wooden golem's nose on top of the Buddha's head, looking down at Madara, grinning. Madara, your laughter is not as good as mine, this idiot. Uchiha Madara didn't bother to pay attention to Hashirama, his eyes showed strong fighting spirit. Full body, Susanoo. The blazing spiritual flames soared into the sky, constantly covering Madara in substance, and in a blink of an eye the mighty Susanoo was condensed, with wings spread out, and 2 knives in hand. The complete body of Madara is about the same size as Hashirama's wooden golem. But wooden golem can only sit on the head of the Buddha, not to mention the huge body of the Buddha, and the arms of 10,000 senju that are closed in the sky. Contrast each other. The size gap is too obvious. However, Uchiha Madara is full of motivation and looks up at Hashirama with great anticipation. Come on, dance. Madara, your Suzaku was a bit older. Hashirama didn't dare to care at all. The Sanluo Vientiane that Madara just showed was extremely dangerous. So, sage art true several thousand hands Ding Shanghua Buddha. Hashirama manipulated the huge wooden Buddha without hesitation. Thousands of huge arms behind him all moved together, like a meteor shower, spreading a covering blow at Suzuo in the lower, AHFG, side. Boom. Before Wan Senju's arm arrived, it caused atmospheric vibration. All the light above has been swallowed, Senluo Yijin. In the face of the terrifying attack, Uchiha Madara did not take a step back. Directly controlling Suzuo Fei, he showed a blazing slash. Boom. There was a slight cracking sound. With Hashirama's pupils shrinking, the arms that rushed first disappeared as if they were blown by dust. For a time, Hashirama broke out all the celestial chakra. The speed and strength of Senju's arms suddenly increased. Too much. After the ball used the slashing attack of the sacred characters to decompose and destroy the first wave of arms, it once again ushered in thousands of killer moves to cover the sky and the sun. It's densely packed and countless. It is extremely difficult to cut a gap and rush over, or directly split Wan Senju's arm in an attempt to attack the Buddha. Super Shen Luo Tianzheng. Madara retracted her long knife and once again exploded with terrifying repulsion. The attached sacred characters are all vigorous, and like an airtight barrier, it collides with the rising Buddha on top of it, and a huge roar resounds through the world. The Konoha Shinobi who were watching from a distance looked at it again. Advertisement at this moment, the majestic rain suddenly came. Konoha Shinobi. Don't fight, you guys don't fight anymore. Buzzing. For a while, the semicircular Super Shenluo Tianzheng and Mansion's arms were stagnant in the air, cancelling out their strength. Do all attacks have the unknown ability to decompose or annihilate everything? What makes Hashirama solemn is that the arms close to Super Shinra Tianzheng are constantly disappearing. Only the arms that follow can continue to resist the repulsive force. Power of Sun Luo. Decompose everything. After all, the repulsive force erupts instantly, and cannot be consumed with the top of the Buddha. The next moment, the repulsive force dissipated. The sky covered Susanoo with his arms, and his ears roared endlessly. All the arms seemed to have found a catharsis point, and they attacked frantically, and the earth shook. Class. Hashirama yelled worriedly. There are hundreds of remaining arms, which can definitely break Suzuo into pieces. And Madara, who is in a covering attack. Hashirama senses Madara's breath with bated breath. After a while, the dust cleared. The ground below was completely broken into pieces. At the very center is the bottomless abyss, with white smoke constantly blowing. Yes, are you all right? Hashirama fell to the ground instantly, searching for something. Finally, he saw pieces of clothes all over the floor, as well as all kinds of bloodline, which immediately made his heart sink. Madara was beaten into blood mist by me. After all, I used to use the top to transform the Buddha, and the one who smashed the prestige Suzuo, but this time without 9 tails, the defense power has dropped a lot. Su. The next moment, Hashirama was stunned. I saw all the pieces of clothes, blood, etc., bursting into light, converging towards the center. In a blink of an eye, a figure of Haki condensed. Alive. Are you? Hashirama can't understand this scene. Is Madara immortal now? The power of Vientiane. Reorganize yourself. Where are you looking? Suddenly Madara's low drink was heard in his ear, and then Hashirama recovered and found that the figure in front of him had disappeared, and his right hand felt a pain. Puff. I saw a long knife glowing, cut off Hashirama's only right hand directly. You have known since childhood that I have a weakness. Whenever someone stands behind me, it makes me extremely sensitive and distracted. At that time, the knife stabbed behind me and defeated me. Uchiha Madara calmly took the knife and looked at Hashirama, who turned around. Of course, I was careless and didn't carefully distinguish the wood clone you hide. This time, you were careless too. Brush. Madara disappeared in place and rushed directly to Hashirama, who had lost both hands. And at this moment, all the Ryotsu broke out, making Hashirama, who was already unsustainable, a halt. In an instant, the two passed by. Just like Lan Yu treated Ban, Ban also gave Hashirama a stab. Puff, chick. Blood spattered out. The hideous and narrow scars appeared on Hashirama's body, and even his vigorous vitality still couldn't recover the damage that touched the soul. Ban, you won this time. Hashirama smiled calmly and fell straight down. I don't belong to this world anymore, right or wrong, and I don't want to. Stop Madara from pursuing her dream. No, it's a draw this time. Looking at Hashirama, whose hands were broken and his body was severely injured, Uchiha Madara finished speaking, holding his arms proudly, and said, however, even if you are not careless, you will still lose in the end. People always have to grow. Before the class, he would change his support and said seriously, Hashirama, the wave of the era of unified ninja world can't be stopped by anyone, whether it's you, or me. Let's go. I will take you to see the new era. New era? Hashirama was confused, and suddenly felt like he was flying. Because Hashirama had no hands and was badly injured, Ban couldn't carry him away, so he could only hug him sideways and rush towards True World City. Madara, don't hold me like this. What should I do if someone sees me? 8 trigrams. Understand? It's terrible. Do you think I am willing? Stop talking nonsense. Konoha Shinobi came quietly, and when he saw the scene of Ban leaving, his eyes widened. Master Hokage, Shodai was taken away, still a princess hug. Chapter 95. At this moment, Cloud Shinobi Ninja Village, Demon King Lan Yu is coming, seeking support. Advertisement: the Invisible Empire invaded Konoha, Hokage recovered, and so on. It hasn't spread out yet. Lan Yu entered the Cloud Shinobi defense area while watching the scenery of Ninja World. Third Raikage, who is in his prime, guesses Lan Yu's ambitions as maliciously as possible. Be prepared for defense at all times. Hurry up, do it faster. Village defense, there can be no loopholes. You can see dark guys from all over Cloud Shinobi, who are constantly strengthening the defenses and vigilance of various regions. Be sure to do a good job, and react as quickly as possible to counterattack when the Invisible Empire is likely to invade. And at the moment, movie office, is the intelligence confirmed? Third Generation Ray frowned and looked at a report. The more I look, the heavier my heart becomes. The atmosphere in the entire office became depressed, and Booby took a deep breath and said, confirmed, although I rarely contact Miss Shinobi, this report does come from Third Mizukage. More than that, there is similar news from Takigakura Village. I don't know how Konoha and Sanagakure are doing. Huh. Some elders couldn't help taking a sigh of relief, constantly calming down the shock and anger in their hearts. This report from Third Mizukage is divided into 2 copies. One is about the Invisible Empire sending people to grab the Mist Shinobi Tail Beast. The other is the invitation letter to the 5 Shadows Conference. Angry, Third Raikage smashed the desk directly. What exactly is Lan Yu going to do? Is he going to be an enemy of the 5 great nations? The Invisible Empire has only been built for a few days, and it's such an eager tail catcher, how arrogant. But Third Raikage is not angry. You should know that Cloud Shinobi Village has 2 tail beasts, and one of them, Jinchuriki, is his best partner. Another Jinchuriki, now a 4 or 5-year-old girl. 2 tails were implanted at the age of 2. The second place is by Wooden Golem. No matter which one, it is impossible for Third Raikage to give up at will. Master Raikage, Sanagakure urgent report. At this moment, a Jonin hurried over. Give me. Third Generation Lei immediately received the information, only took a look, and suddenly chakra broke out. That kind of extremely powerful aura caused everyone present to freeze their breath. Okay, very good, what an invisible empire. Sanagakure's intelligence is precisely the matter of Konan Tsunade stealing 1 tail. Third Raikage fully understands at this moment, Lan Yu's ambition has unfolded its fangs. There must be no fluke. Cloud Shinobi Village Tail Beast. It must be in the Lan Yu plan. Give me the order, strengthen Cloud Shinobi, strengthen all the defenses of the border of the Kingdom of Thunder, and find any suspicious persons, especially those from the Invisible Empire, immediately block the report. Third Raikage stood up as he said, scanned the audience with a deep voice. From now on, immediately recall the ninja who is out. I Cloud Shinobi, fully prepared. Yes, Lord Movie. Everyone responded immediately, but their hearts were depressed and heavy. Just know the strength comparison. There is a big gap between the 2 sides. Perhaps Cloud Shinobi's mid and low-level combat power is far greater than that of the Empire, but the high-level combat power is not enough. It is recognized by the ninja world, Demon King Lan Yu. The strongest creatures in the sea, land and air, the strongest in singles. Please come here. Bobby, who was responding to his face, condensed, and he heard the voice from 8 Tails. This shocked Bobby. He is Bobby, not Killer B. I can't control 8 Tails at all, and I haven't spoken to 8 Tails for a long time. Originally, Eight Tails was very optimistic about him, but after Booby became Jinchuriki, he found that the attitudes of people around him had changed, so he became increasingly exhausted physically and mentally, and often imagined the horror of death. And the tail beast will run away directly when Jinchuriki's heart is weakest. Bobby has never found a hole in his heart. It seems to be unobstructed, but in fact it is depressed. In the original manga, Booby was given a hallucinogenic pill by Orochimaru, who sneaked into Cloud Shinobi when he was weak-willed. Unlocking the seal caused Eight Tails to run away and die. Bobby was surprised. What's the matter? I can perceive that there is a life form containing terrifying and unknown energy, walking towards Cloud Shinobi. No, it has entered the Cloud Shinobi line of defense, southwest. No, he flew up, so fast. Eight Tails Gyuki is very steady, but his voice is dignified. There is also a lingering fear, advertisement not surprisingly. Such a tyrannical aura is the demon that Cloud Shinobi has been discussing these days. What? Bobby exclaimed, then turned around and said urgently. Master Hokage, hurry, get ready for battle. Eight Tails told me that someone from the southwest has invaded and flew over. It's probably from the Invisible Empire. Damn it. Third Hokage was angry. Unexpectedly, he blasted the wall open with a punch and jumped out, and there was a burst of drink. Cloud Shinobi, all ninjas obey orders. The Invisible Empire is invaded, ready to fight. Wow. A loud shout awakened countless people. All the ninjas were shocked, and the civilians were uncontrollable and panicked. At this moment too, above the sky, there was a whisper full of majesty, but it exploded in all directions of Cloud Shinobi. Don't fight fearlessly, hand over the two-tailed beasts. In an instant, many people's eardrums roared. Chi-Chi looked to the sky in shock, facing the sunlight, only seeing a little dark shadow. But even so, I felt the invisible and terrible aura inexplicably. It's him. In the future, fourth generation Eye stares at the sky. Even if he is too tall to see his face clearly, he recognizes the momentum that makes people unable to resist the courage. Father, it's Lan Yu, he is here. Hearing fourth generation Eyes yelling, third Hokage became solemn to the extreme and immediately yelled. Quick! Call up all the elites, and the rest of the ninjas evacuate the civilians. Immediately, open the barrier, move faster. Cloud Shinobi Village is militarized and managed very efficiently. Soon, the civilians evacuated and a huge barrier opened in the sky. 0. Look for flowers, and third Hokage clenched his fists and looked at the sky. Lan Yu's location is too high. If the chakra cannon is developed, he will fire a shot into the sky, but unfortunately there is no if. Bye, let go of your mind and leave it to me, Eight Tails Gyuki suggested at the moment that the other party was clearly rushing at him. Thinking of the strange eyes of many people in the village, Booby couldn't let go of his soul, because he hated his identity as Jinchuriki more and more. But at this moment, Booby gritted his teeth and said, No, just Cloud Shinobi can't block Lan Yu. I will unblock it directly. I hope you can lead him out of the village, please. The words fell off. Bobby directly knots the seal and presses it towards his abdomen. The seal is called the Iron Armor Seal, and Orochimaru can unlock it, so naturally he can. Birth, you! Eight Tails shouted, and finally fell silent. It doesn't want to go out. And third Hokage, who had been to Bobby's action, suddenly shouted. Bye, what are you doing? Stop me. You will die if you let it out. With that, third Hokage rushed over, trying to stop Bobby. Useless Master Hokage, if you fight in the village, more people will die because of me. Booby dodged very quickly, and the seal was released. I subconsciously looked at a lot of Cloud Shinobi who were stunned, and many Cloud Shinobi bowed their heads with shame. Jinchuriki, even Killer Bee of Master Eight Tails will receive some Byakugan in the village, but he is cheerful and doesn't care. Naruto who saved the world is popular. There will always be some people who can't figure it out, and transfer the hatred caused by Nine Tails to Naruto. Whatever he does is useless. What's more, Bobby, who often causes the tail beasts to run wild. What? Seeing Eight Tails chakra constantly emerging from Bobby's breath gradually began to die away, and third Hokage roared in anger and unwillingness. Then he looked at the sky full of resentment and yelled. Lan Yu, the pattern of the 5 great nations has been stable for hundreds of years, and the 5 great ninja villages also have decades of history. Sooner or later, your ambition will make the empire go to extinction. Huh? What is shouting below? Lan Yu, who had been watching Cloud Shinobi Village, looked down. Immediately I saw a large group of ninjas have gathered, and Eight Tails began to emerge. The sturdy third Hokage kept roaring. Still? Don't let that man's death lose its meaning. Lan Yu calmly landed on the barrier. Not far from the ground, I naturally saw many ninjas' eyes brightened, and they were eager to attack. Damn it, it's because of you that you die. Chakra was violent on third Hokage, and he shouted angrily. Lan Yu, you are the one who defeated Ninja Shira after all. I respect you, but I am not afraid of you. I, Cloud Shinobi, will never be timid. It's not good to bluff, that can only show your weakness even more. Lan Yu opened his mouth flat, and then raised his eyes slightly. Ryotsu broke out. Boom. Chapter 96. Lan Yu's Ryotsu experiment. I'm not interested in ants, seeking support. Advertisement boom. Lan Yu's spirit exploded in an instant. Ryotsu turns the beam. Under everyone's shocking gaze, the sky of Cloud Shinobi Village shattered. Just take you and do an experiment. Lan Yu's thin figure seemed to transform into a great giant. Looking down on the earth like a god. This momentum is like a monstrous torrent, sweeping Cloud Shinobi Village in a flash, and all the ninjas' combat intent will be completely wiped out. It's like a spectrum, swept across the entire Cloud Shinobi Village in an instant. At this moment, as if time stands still, everyone stopped in place. A touch of indescribable panic and horror appeared in the hearts of countless people. The sweeping vastness of Ryotsu gave them a feeling of passing by Shinigami. This, a monster, third Raikage is also very shocking. Just that moment. The oppression from the soul made him feel as if he had died several times. Crack. The next moment, with the sound of a knife breaking. Then a shocking scene happened, and I saw that various weapons in the hands of the ninja continued to shatter endlessly. Put the entire Cloud Shinobi in 783, an alternative tranquility. In the end, what happened? Third Raikage was shocked and felt extremely distressed. So many weapons, so many resources to build. Just under the horrified eyes of Third Raikage and a few top elite Jonin. Things that made them tremble happened again. Puff, puff. I saw some civilians who didn't hum, just lost consciousness and fell straight down. As if discussed together, a domino phenomenon has formed. Look into the eye. One by one civilian ninja fell down. In the end, what happened? Hoo-ha, I almost died, just a strong sense of oppression. Several of the top elites who survived took a deep breath, and then they were shocked. Looking into the eyes, there are countless piles of corpses. Obviously no trace of blood appeared, but there was a silent great horror. PR. Third Raikage trembled all over, raised his stiff head, bleeding from his eyes, and looked at Lan Yu above. You. What did you do? After speaking, Third Raikage was like a decadent old man. He walked aside with the follower, shaking his hands to probe fourth generation eyes breathing. Yes. Breathing. Still alive, still alive. Third Raikage probed several people one after another, and then, the strongest shadow in the ninja world, his unstoppable eyes turned red. There is fear, happiness, excitement, and fear. But more of it, powerless despair. He saw that there were only a few dozen people who did not fall. But even when I was standing, I was shaking all over, and I was sitting on the ground with sweating profusely. Completely lost combat effectiveness. Cloud Shinobi Village, there are tens of thousands of ninjas alone, all of them are kneeling. Brush. Lan Yu stepped across the barrier and landed beside Third Raikage, which immediately made him prepared. The dignity of being a shadow also made Third Raikage clench his fists and set a fighting posture. How powerful. But looking at Lan Yu from such a close distance, Third Raikage felt the gap like heaven and earth. Seeing this, Lan Yu's eyes were calm, and he spoke calmly. Don't be too persistent, step on the ant without killing it. This power is very difficult for the master. The operation just now was a great challenge for Lan Yu. The skies suddenly shattered under the aura of terror. This is nothing. On the contrary, the entire Cloud Shinobi Village does not have a building or ground torn, as if it has not been affected in any way. However, all weapons were directly shattered by the momentum, and no one was injured. The most stressful thing for Lan Yu is, Ryotsu is not conquerors, it will be over when you faint, but it will be dead. If the blue power plume blooms Ryotsu, Cloud Shinobi Village will die at least 99% of the people. Cloud Shinobi Village has children, adults, old people, genin, chunin, jonin and other Ryotsu life forms. Ryotsu is a bit heavier, the old, the weak, the sick and the disabled will die directly. Slightly lighter, this will cause many ninjas to still stand. Therefore, it is necessary to subdivide Ryotsu into different levels of Ryotsu and cover each person separately. Just right, no harm and fainting. This experiment has not been done well enough. Lan Yu glanced at the dozen or so ninjas sitting on the ground. These people represented that Ryotsu's control was not perfect. I thought that only Third Raikage was left, but it's enough. Experiments have proved that Ryotsu's control level needs to be improved. Movie. Are you here for an experiment? I am not interested in killing python ants. Seeing Raikage's trembling eyes, Lan Yu spoke flatly. At the level of Lan Yu, it is difficult to be interested in ordinary ninjas. Advertisement. Even if everyone in Cloud Shinobi Village is killed and the soul energy of everyone is absorbed, Lan Yu will not be able to enter the Six Paths level. Only your way Eight Tails can. It is not that the soul energy of the two-tailed beasts exceeds the sum of all people, but that it creates a perfect cycle with the soul energy of the rest of 7 tails. After all, the 9-tailed beasts are formed by the energy of 10 tails, and the Gedo statue is just a shell. If Lan Yu swallows it all, plus the energy it once absorbed, it will be enough to become an alternative version of 10 tails Jinchuriki. However, Madara, Obito and others are borrowed, and Lan Yu is to swallow and assimilate, not to mention any 10 tails will. Don't you run? Lan Yu turned around and looked at the trembling 8 tails Gyuki. This human, no, he is definitely not a human. 8 tails Gyuki has always been stable, and every inch of chakra in his body is twisting at this moment. That is a manifestation of extreme fear. If those civilians and ninjas, it happened to feel that Ryotsu had reached the level of fainting. Then it is Ryotsu whose soul is torn apart just now. One more point. It feels like it's dying. Run? Of course you want to run. The recovered 8 tails Gyuki roared. Under Third Raikage's disappointed gaze, he directly abandoned the dignity of being a tail beast, and ran out of the village with his legs. It won't definitely run to death. I saw 8 tails Gyuki showed a speed that surpassed its limit. Like a stream of light, it suddenly jumped up and reached the edge of Cloud Shinobi Village in a blink of an eye. What frightened Eight Tails was Zero, it just arrived here. I saw Lan Yu stepped away and came dozens of meters in front of it. Roar. Human. Eight Tails roared, turning all fear into grief and anger. Burst with full force. With its hill-like body, it slammed into the forward Lan Yu quickly. Boom. There was a loud crash. Eight Tails stared at the front. The man who stood calmly in the air raised his hand to easily block his impact. This kind of power, but you, Lan Yu turned his palm into Sichuan, and his 5 fingers were directly embedded in Eight Tails' horns. Suddenly turning around, Lan Yu's powerful force broke the horns, and at the same time it flew towards the sky. Just use the life of Eight Tails to verify your birth. At the moment when Eight Tails flew into the air, Lan Yu calmly drew out the crossknife from the void. Woo! Lan Yu didn't do anything. The sword seemed to feel Lan Yu's heart, and a brilliant sword pressed in and out. Transform the huge Seiya and cut through the void in an instant. Boom! It was like Seiya's slash directly penetrated the Eight Tails. And with the tyrannical energy spilled to burst its body, like fireworks in the sky. Yin. Quiet cross sword groaned softly, just like Tsunere's little loli is asking for credit. The slash just now was obviously launched on its own, because it was absorbing the spirit child all the time. You, wait until you have a real consciousness and form before rewarding you. Lan Yu is very satisfied with the extinction crossknife at this moment. Very spiritual. There is a difference between it and the sealed state. After you can communicate in the future, it will also be an alternative and powerful Zanpakuto. Aquamarine Crystal Feather raised his hand to Jing. In a while, he mobilized Lingza to roll the soul of Eight Tails over. The palm of the hand is like Uzumaki, holding all the soul energy of Eight Tails. Take its essence, remove its dross, and absorb as much as possible. Do not. Next moment, Lan came to you in a small attic. There is a 4 or 5-year-old girl here at 5.6 years old, very delicate beige-brown hair, breathing evenly in a coma. He became Jinchuriki at the age of 2, and the 2 were made up of wooden golem. Such a small. Lan Yu glanced at the 2 wooden golem, then grabbed her hand and disappeared in place. Puff. At this moment, Third Raikage was sitting weakly on the ground. The entire Cloud Shinobi village is intact, but it's like a dead city. The silence makes my heart chill. Ah. Third Raikage snarled unwillingly, yelling away some of the fear in his heart. Facing Lan Yu, he can't do anything. He obviously shattered all his pride without taking a shot at him. Obviously he didn't kill a person personally, but he was more terrified than killing. Looking at the corpses everywhere, glimpsed the broken sky. Recalling the death of Eight Tails, feel the weakness of the heart. Unforgettable the horror of Lan Yu. This fierce and brawny man finally shouted. 5 Shadows Conference, lousy is not going, 3rd Hokage. 3rd Kazekage. 3rd Mizukage, 4th Tsuchikage. Chapter 97. The White Zetsu 5 arrogantly leaves Kirigakure, Mizukage vomits blood, please support. Advertisement when Lan Yu took the last 2 tail beasts and left. On the coast of Kirigakure, hurry up, don't let them run away. Damn it, the invisible empire is too arrogant, don't stop me, I will fight them hard. I saw tens of thousands of mist shinobi ninjas going crazy one after another, moving toward the coast. An extremely angry flame was burning in each Mizunobore's eyes. A few days ago, 2-tailed beasts were robbed and Mist Shinobi was aggrieved. After the return of the Blowfish Ghost, Mist Shinobi was stunned by saying that even the big sword was robbed. But today, the invisible empire came to grab people and money again. Mist Shinobi Ninja is completely angry. Ha ha ha. Ha ha can't beat me, there is no way, I am so strong. At this moment, White Zetsu uses the holy text, Yu himself, to simulate all the power and technology of 3rd Mizukage. While contending, laughed cheaply, a hole, damn you. 3rd Mizukage was extremely angry and wanted to kill this B********** D on the spot. But anger is not enough to make 3rd Mizukage explode. White Zetsu's own abilities are too incomprehensible to many people. White Zetsu. I will do what you know, and I will do what you don't. If 3rd Mizukage can't explode and unleash a power that surpasses the current one, it will be extremely difficult to defeat White Zetsu, who has all his power. Water Style Great Waterfall Technique. Lightning Style Angry Thunder Tiger, 07. 3rd Mizukage, who obviously looked extremely elegant, looked terrifying under his anger. While jetting out waves like a waterfall, a huge blue thunder tiger rushed into the waves. Composite Ninjutsu Fury Falls, when used in 3rd Mizukage. The opposite White Zetsu also simulated the same compound ninjutsu. Suddenly, the waterfalls of Fury Thunder collided, and the sound of thunder explosion continued to resound. It's almost there, I won't play with you. White Zetsu glanced at the others who had begun to retreat, then turned and ran. While running, I didn't forget 3rd Mizukage, who was chasing after him, and Ji Zhang laughed. Ha 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 ha, can't catch up with me, la 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 la. White Zetsu laughed and ran off, not to mention putting a big waterfall in front of a group of mist. A waterfall suddenly rushed many people out, and White Zetsu laughed louder. Ha 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 was defeated by me. All, let's go together, I'm not afraid at all. Ah, damn it, in an instant, White Zetsu strongly pulled away the hatred of everyone present, and looked at White Zetsu furiously. 3rd Mizukage. I have grown up so much, I have never seen such an arrogant person. This guy is too arrogant. Not far away, Kakuzu, who repelled one of the 7 Ninto swords, who was unreliable, showed a cruel smile after speaking. However, I like it, Sero. A bright beam of light came from Kakuzu's fingertips. Under Wu Li's horrified gaze, his blasting knife droplets were directly shattered, and even the person himself was penetrated and flew out. Huh, it's comfortable. Kakuzu closed his hand and looked at the ring in his hand, feeling refreshed. The name of the ring is Nailing Ring. It is a kind of storage tool similar to the space ring created by Lan Yu based on the Seal Scroll, the Soul Space and the Visionary ability. Only those who practice spiritual power can use it. Because of the characteristics of the subspace, it is a kind of different space, with length, width and height of all kilometers. Not only can hold objects, but also life forms. At present, only one has been manufactured, and Lan Yu has given it to Kakuzu, the Deputy Minister of Finance. Cool, I feel refreshed. There are more than relatives and friends of Terumi Mei and Gui Zhao in the Nailing Ring. There are also many precious items, resources, scrolls, etc. that Kakuzu ran to the major families to grab. God knows how many robbed, if it's not for lack of time. Kakuzu can fill 1 billion cubic meters of Nailing Ring. You can't stop it, go away. On the other side, Terumi Mei shook her curly hair lightly and broke out. Ryotsu frightened the mist that was chasing him back. Zzz. The next moment, even though they retreated, the Mizukis who wanted to attack were still angry, and saw the ground in front of them continuously melt, corrode, and decompose in astonishment. There was even a sizzle in the air. It seems to corrode the air. All of a sudden, all Wu Ren dared not approach. Goodbye, Kirigakure. Terumi Mei glanced at Kirigakure deeply, turned around and rushed towards the ship far away from the coast. Holy text. Corrosion. Advertisement literal meaning. To rot, disappear, erode, and melt everything. Any attack of Terumi Mei has a corrosive effect, which can be used in a wide range and is extremely strong. And it can turn the corrosive ability into mist and energy shockwaves, eroding everything. As for now, Lan Yu no longer specifically endows the former members of the Star-Crossed Knights with abilities, unless they are particularly suitable. Just like the lethal dose of D, the miracle of M, the thunder of T, and so on, there are no suitable candidates at present. Therefore, give the key to open the holy text. Lan Shenyu did it to let his subordinates awaken themselves. Such as Terumi Mei. As a future double-blooded person, Boil Style and Lava Style are both strong. Her self-awakening sacred writing is also a similar ability, but more comprehensive and powerful. You damn shark-faced kid, return my knife to me. On the other side, the Watermelon Mountain Blowfish Ghost looked at Hoshigaki Kisame in angrily. Especially the big knife Samahata in the opponent's hand. Hoshigaki Kisame grinned. The first time I saw it, I desperately wanted to own it. Fortunately, your majesty directly reformed and bestowed it on me. If you want, come and get it. The 7 ninja swordsmen are not particularly well known at present. But it is still the goal that countless Kiri shinobi longed for, and so was the former Hoshigaki Kisame. But he has died once for Mist Shinobi and is now a man of the Invisible Empire. As a human being, we must strengthen our position. So, kill a crowd of 7 people and add to the fun. Damn it kid, go to hell. The furious watermelon puffer ghost, holding another unknown knife, slashed towards the ghost. This speed is really ridiculous. I have seen Kushina and the others teleport at the same speed as a tortoise. The swollen body caused the action to be quite funny. That's it? 10% off water bottle? Conquer him, Masseter? Ghost Zhao pointed Samahata's sword at the ground. A huge wave like a pearl mussel appeared below, and surrounded the ghost bite, and directly entered the state of returning to the blade. After the giant wave disappeared, the Masseter muscle became larger and turned into a shark-legged giant sword. Ring. For an instant, Gui Zhao avoided the blowfish ghost's attack, appeared above him, and smiled cruelly. Feel my new ability. Trident Fog Load. Kisame swung his knife in an instant, splitting 3 high-pressure fog-like slashes, and quickly attacked the puffer fish ghost. What is it? Under the shock of the puffer fish ghost, the weapon he was about to block was directly shattered. The other 2 slashes fell on him, causing him to scream hysterically, and his whole body was incomplete. The puffer fish ghost continued to roll on the ground, in pain. Puff. The next moment, Kisame resounded again, and directly pierced the pufferfish ghost with the great sword. Turn around, ring on the boat, Watermelon Mountain pufferfish ghost, die. 790 Arankar Ghost Dragon. Symbol of sacrifice. Returning blade ability. Control water attribute attack. Spiritual power transforms bursts, waterfalls, tsunamis, hot water columns, high temperature water mist, etc. to create and control water. Similar to Arankar Espada's number 3 Helber's ability, but with some differences. Although similar to No 3. But Espada is not ranked by skill, but purely by killing ability and Ryotsu strength. Although Kisame has similar capabilities, Ryotsu is currently not strong. White Zetsu, hurry up, stop the waves. On the ship far from the coast, Yahiko released a wide range of scorching flames and burned the sea to block Mizuna, while yelling at White Zetsu. Everyone is now on the boat. As long as one person drives the boat and the rest stands on the boat and zooms in, there will be no fog to rush over. But this guy White Zetsu, it's utterly ridiculous. Ha 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 ha, can't catch up with me, la 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 la. White Zetsu laughed and turned around and ran. The arrogant laugh made all the hearts of Mist Ninki explode, but he couldn't help it. Terumi Mei and others are also full of black lines. White Zetsu, it's a weird thing that's hard to see in 1,000 years. Puff. The angry third Mizukage spit out a mouthful of blood. Enough, let them go. Seeing the mess everywhere, and the various big moves that were constantly released on the ship in the distance, third Mizukage gritted his teeth. If there is no absolute force to suppress them, no matter how many people chase them, they will have to die at sea. It doesn't make any sense. Mizuna could only watch Kakuzu and others arrogantly leave. Third Mizukage was suffocated and roared angrily. Get in touch with the other shadows again, immediately, right away. I want to start the 5 Shadows conference tomorrow. Yes, Master Mizukage. Chapter 98. Shocked Hashirama. Madara must have been wronged in the Empire. Seeking support. Advertisement: the 3-way battle is over, Konoha direction. Uchiha Madara takes Senju Hashirama, Kushina and Mikoto, with Uzumaki Nanako, Namikaze Minato and Senju Nawaki. Nagato and White Fang took the Mikoto family and the Hitaki family. Mist Shinobi direction, Terumi Mei, Hoshigaki Kisame, Yahiko and White Zetsu. Kakuzu stroked the nailing ring filled with supplies and Kisame Terumi Mei's relatives and friends, and the 5 arrogantly left. Cloud Shinobi direction. Lan Yu suppressed Cloud Shinobi and killed 8 tails. With 2 wooden golems who are 4 or 5 years old, they returned home leisurely while admiring the style of the ninja world. 3 invasion battles have not yet been reported, and all parties have returned to the Empire. At the same time, Sasori is about 10 years old. Carefully drilled out of the ground and entered the invisible Empire area. The scorching girl Yekura of San Shinobi Village took over the undercover mission. With a heavy heart, found a suitable and not exaggerated reason to defect and escape into the border. Cloud Shinobi, Rock Shinobi, Mist Shinobi, etc. all have undercover agents on their way. Undercover agents have something in common: 1. Young or young. 2. The talent is good. The issue of age is judged by villages in various countries from Kushina, Konan and others. Maybe Lan Yu prefers to raise children? For a time, Fengyun gathers the Invisible Empire. The major ninja villages communicated closely to prepare for the 5 Shadows conference. The Invisible Empire, the real world city, today's true world city, looks a bit more prosperous than yesterday. The streets and alleys are very lively. The children laughed and played, and everyone was full of hope for the future. If the whole world of ninja is an invisible empire, then how beautiful it should be. Jiraiya trains some unskilled holy soldiers, and is also full of exclamation from time to time, and his heart is also full of accomplishment and satisfaction. All changes in True World City, it was all he witnessed personally, and the feelings were extremely deep. Great Toad Sage, Teacher Sarutobi, even you, can't stop it. Jiraiya murmured, firming his eyes in faith. Give everything to this great rising empire. Also at this time, a holy soldier came and reported, Master Jiraiya, Master Ban is back. Speaking of this, the same soldier has a weird expression. Also, I was holding the man in the red armor. No, I put it down on the border, and the one who came over was at the gate of the city. Jiraiya. Hugging? Oh my god. Determined to be Uchiha Madara? Brush. Jiraiya's eyes are full of 8 trigrams, rushing to the gate. Now, outside the real world, wow, it's so big. Oh my god, that's amazing. Hey, where is this? It's so cool. Excited bursts of exclamation came out, attracting strange eyes from many people. This man is really weird. His hands are mutilated, there are still hideous scars on his body, and the whole body is bleeding. But even so, still can't stop the anger that this man exudes from his heart. The people running around outside the city yelled. Ah! Uchiha Madara clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. Right. I don't know this guy. I have nothing to do with him. This is Ban's inner thoughts at the moment. I want to kick the big pillar to death at the gate of the city, so as not to be so embarrassed and spread it to my class. Hashirama, hurry into the city. Uchiha Madara lowered his eyes and spoke in a low voice. What? Madara, what are you talking about? I haven't seen enough yet. Hashirama turned her head and shouted, suddenly attracting all kinds of eyes. Madara was angry and kicked it. Come on, tie this B*** up to me and kill it on the spot. Yes, Master Ben. The saints guarding the city jumped out. The chains of the spirits turned into a big net, which directly tied Hashirama. Hashirama fell in love and exclaimed, wow, Madara, this is your person? That's so handsome. When have you been so good? Can you arrange a position for me? Just take care of the food. Hey, don't do it. I'm Madara's beloved relatives, brothers and sisters. Titicaca. Seeing Hashirama pick up, Madara felt a little unbearable, but her heart was extremely refreshing. This idiot. Shouldn't you be so worried after playing a few more meals? Swipe. Jiraiya, Konan and Tsunade came one after another. Advertisement. Seeing the man who was violently beaten and yelling, several people were shocked for a moment. Ah, Grandpa. Suddenly seeing this man so angry, Tsunade was thinking about laughing, and his eyes widened when he took a closer look. Konan is also affectionate. Jiraiya's eyes widened and he recognized it. After all, he was the same age as Tsunade, and he had seen first generation in his memory. Shodai? No, Senju Hashirama. Seeing Tsunade's arrival, Uchiha Madara waved his hand slightly, and the holy soldiers withdrew the chains and immediately withdrew. Grandpa, are you okay? Don't die again. Seeing Hashirama's hands crippled and body wounded, Tsunade ran over very worried. Does it matter how to resurrect? Ahem, who are you? Senju Hashirama gave a light cough, looked at the young beauty with blonde hair in confusion, frowned and said, Little girl, it's not good for you to be like this. If you can't meet people, you can recognize your grandfather, do you know? Tsunade has a black line. I am Tsunade. Oh, Tsunade, the name is good. As Senju Hashirama was talking, Ran's eyes widened, full of surprise and astonishment. Shaozuna? Are you my eldest granddaughter Shaozuna? You've grown up like this? Quickly tell Grandpa, how is your gambling practice? Excited Hashirama stood up, and Ran laughed proudly. No matter what, your gambling skills are not as good as mine. I am the god of gamblers in the ninja world. That's how the title of ninja god came from, ha 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 ha. Class. Conan. Jiraiya. Come, keep calling me. Tsunade couldn't help holding his forehead, and suddenly regretted it. Grandpa is still so cute. But seeing Hashirama again, Tsunade couldn't help but smile, but his eyes flushed. Was this serious injury caused by Uchiha Madara? This is not important, thank you Grandpa. Grandpa sent here. What kind of joke is so happy? If it is convenient, can you tell me again? Suddenly, a steady voice sounded, and everyone was in shape, and Senju Hashirama also stopped smiling, full of solemnity. This voice seemed to sound from the depths of the soul. For an instant, Hashirama's body was tight, as if he was facing an enemy. Brush. A handsome, gentle and unparalleled man appeared in front of him. Hashirama's pupils shrunk as he was about to say something, and then his eyes widened and stared. See you. Looking at the lively people outside the city, Chi-Chi showed their eyes full of surprise and admiration, and knelt down one after another. Welcome to your majesty the invisible imperial emperor. More than that, what shocked Hashirama's heart? His granddaughter Tsunade, and the elite soldiers. And the beautiful girl in light blue and purple who seemed not weak, and a familiar man with long white hair also knelt down. Welcome to your majesty the invisible imperial emperor. Immediately afterwards, some Hashirama could distinguish tourists and businessmen who did not belong to the city, and bowed in salute. Lord of the great invisible empire, I wish you well. The most incredible thing happened to Senju Hashirama. Under Hashirama's incredulous gaze, Uchiha Madara took a deep look at the man in front of him, his eyes changed slightly, his hands clenched and loosened, telling of his inner uneasiness. Immediately afterwards, Ban took a deep breath, lowered his extremely arrogant head, and knelt down. Welcome. Your Majesty the Invisible Emperor, impossible. Absolutely impossible. Senju Hashirama's eyes widened to the limit, and his heart was shocked, and his whole body was fascinated. Anger, fear, shock and other emotions are full of heart. Ban, that's Uchiha Madara, the arrogant and unbelievable Shira of the ninja realm. In Hashirama's heart, even if the sky and the earth were torn apart and the world was destroyed, the man who could not bow his head just knelt down in front of him. No need to be polite. Lan Yu glanced calmly, then set his gaze on Hashirama for 0.001 seconds, then turned and disappeared. Next moment, many people outside the city cheered in surprise. It was an immense honor and excitement for many people present to see the Lord of the Invisible Empire appearing. Izzy. Senju Hashirama yelled and rushed to Madara with bloodshot eyes and gritted teeth. Tell me, it was an illusion just now, it was fake, right? Tell me. This kind of thing. Hashirama can't accept it, no matter what the reason, he didn't want the arrogant man in his heart to bow his head so. Sure enough, you are still so naive. Uchiha Madara's expression was flat, glanced at Dujien, and slowly said. If you want to know, try to survive. Take a good look at this city. Witness the advent of a new era, don't be as stupid as before. Otherwise, I will personally send you back to the Pure Land. Don't let my decision lose its meaning Hashirama. Shut up and follow up. Madara didn't say much and walked towards the city. Hashirama took a deep breath and followed closely. Who the hell is that man? Madara, you must be wronged. Chapter 99. Madara. I joined the Empire, what should I do if I am too popular? Seeking support. Advertisement with the community into the city. Even if Madara's night with Lan Yu made him feel confused, he couldn't help but be dazzled by the various buildings in the real-world city. What shocked Hashirama again? The indifferent and arrogant man relieved his expression after entering the city, showing a smile he had never seen since he was a boy. Uchiha Madara is kind. People in the city are more friendly. Ah, this is the Guardian of Ninja World. Is it the Guardian recruited by your Majesty? Too haughty, full of security. Your Majesty is too great. Lord Madara is my chance. Master Madara, this is for you. Hashirama was stunned. Many boys exclaimed and admired, and many girls showed hopefulness in their eyes. There were some pure-eyed children who brought some flowers and various small gifts to Madara's body. Kids, slow down, don't fall down. Uchiha Madara's smile was unnatural and uncomfortable, and his eyes were full of questions. He knows the policy of the Empire. The people of the Empire should help each other, unite and love each other, which is what he hopes. But, before he left, except for chatting with that little girl for a while, no one else should know him. Jiraiya walked over and chuckled, Master Madara, this is your Majesty's arrangement. The Empire, although relying on us and your Majesty to build a reputation, but the foundation is not enough, the attraction is not strong enough, there are always some tourists, merchants or part of the Empire's citizens are unstable in their hearts, so. As Jiraiya spoke, he pointed to the notices on the walls of various streets. There are also cool photos. According to your majesty, make an advertisement with the help of your record and reputation. Ninja Shira and his majesty are in the empire. I believe that everyone will feel at ease and the empire can develop rapidly. Advertise Madara? Not afraid to scare others to death? Hashirama on the side was stunned. Ninja Shira is not well known as 790. Aren't you afraid to scare away tourists and merchants? But Hashirama is not clear. The fact that Madara was defeated by Lan Yu spread throughout the ninja world, and Shira was no longer terrible. The strong like Madara joins, everyone feels at ease. Is that so? Madara doesn't reject this, but, very uncomfortable. From a cave old man that no one cares about, to suddenly become a handsome man is much faster than change. Looking at the worship and admiration in the eyes of many people, Madara's heart is extremely complicated. It turns out that people like me with blood on their hands. Will anyone worship? Madara, I seem to understand. Feeling the harmony and stability in the city, Hashirama murmured with a complicated expression. You said earlier that you were going to use your strength to suppress all enemy Union Ninja World, it is you. However, if it is really unified, internal chaos is more terrible than external chaos. How to solve this problem? Hashirama, really is Madara's weakness. Recalling the moment Uchiha Madara kneeled down just now, Lan Yu, who was sitting on the throne, was deeply moved. Black Zetsu is just the driving force for Madara to survive. The key is to give the class new goals and ideals. The existence of the Otsutsuki clan, the stability of real-world city, and the little girl who made Madara laugh before are all touching points in Madara's heart. Of course, the little girl was not arranged by Lan Yu, it was just a coincidence. None of the above is important. Only Hashirama can let Madara let go of all obsessions and arrogance, and accept a new life. Madara must be very hopeful. Hashirama has been living in the world for a long time, witnessing the new era with him, and creating real peace together. Then, as you wish, of course, Lan Yu will not ignore the big pillar. Although a little angry, he is not stupid. When he is serious, he is more sensible than anyone. Once he decides something, he will never give up. Benga Hashirama, the mana is boundless. With these two admiral in hand, it's just a horizontal push. Looking at the sky, Orochimaru should be back soon after the meeting, so Lan Yu said. Pass the order on and prepare for the elite dinner. Yes, your majesty. The holy soldiers outside the hall spoke with a respectful voice. Evening moment. Before the dinner, the lights of True World City are still colorful and lively. Many undercover agents have entered the city. Jia is not an undercover agent. He found the Saint soldier very eagerly, telling that he would join the Empire, and he is in the process of reporting. Other undercover agents, such as the young girl Yikang, couldn't find a reason for a while, so they could only hide first. At the same time, the 5 ninja villages of Sand Shinobi, Konoha, Cloud Shinobi, Mist, and Liuyin spread throughout the ninja world. The matter of Mist Shinobi and the hidden tail-caught beast hasn't come yet to be digested by the people of Shinobi. Immediately after Konoha and Cloud Shinobi were invaded, Mist Shinobi was invaded again, and the ninja world was blasted. Fake, what is the Invisible Empire going to do? Guru, what a terrible demon, he took away all the tail beasts. Invisible. The Empire is too strong, and any number of people dare to enter the great ninja village. Hi, Uchiha Madara joined the Invisible Empire. I don't believe it. Fight at End Valley? Senju Hashirama was taken away by Uchiha Madara? What's the situation? Advertisement, it's messed up, it's going to be messed up. I bet that World War II will continue. Run, let's stay away from the major countries, it will die. Let's go. It's really going to be a full-scale battle, and you can't run. How about going to the Invisible Empire? I don't know who passed the news, and it spread so quickly that it caused a lot of discussions around the ninja world. Panic, horror, excitement and other emotions spread all over the faces of different people. The vast majority of people think the Second World War will continue, and it will be an unprecedented joint operation, with nations fighting against the Invisible Empire. For a time, the undercurrent of the shinobi world surged. Countless careerists and capitalists have emerged. At the same time, headquarters of the Invisible Empire Intelligence Center. White Zetsu, the Deputy Minister of Intelligence, was full of question marks. What's the matter? How can the news spread so quickly this time? All countries are pushing together, or AHFG, someone's conspiracy. In its place, seek its own government. Although White Zetsu is the second seller outside, he is very careful in the intelligence department. He didn't want to see His Majesty's disappointed eyes, it would definitely be dead. Still fighting together, a group of idiots, can you contend the Empire? White Zetsu cursed. He straightened his emotions and quickly went to report to Lan Yu. Behind the center building, here is a vast garden. Lan Yu sits, tasting tea quietly. Conan stood gently behind Lan Yu, massaging gently, with a sweet smile. Not far away, Senju Hashirama, who was healed, squatted on the ground and drew circles, not knowing who was cursing. Tsunade sighed lightly beside her, her grandfather sometimes really looked like a child. Lan Yu said flatly. Let's start. Standing in front of Uchiha Madara Haki, he subconsciously made a seal and screamed. Summoning Gedo statue. Boom. A thick fog appeared, and the dust floated up, revealing a huge figure. When the dust dissipated, what was revealed was a huge human-like figure, with 9 eyes, the color and the body were like dead wood, and 10 pillars protruding from behind were huge monsters. Ten Tails Body, Ghetto Statue. Once sealed on the moon by Sage of Six Paths, after Ban opened his eyes, he was summoned to the crypt to transport him vitality and chakra to maintain life. This is. With the big circled pillar, the gift one stood up and stared at the ghetto statue. The breath is extremely ancient and heavy, there is even more inexplicable coercion. In ancient times, the Six Paths brothers sealed the goddess of Mao. Many years later, they divided 10 tails into 9-tailed beasts, leaving only this shell. Lan Yu's words made everyone's eyes constricted slightly, and they saw Lan Yu stepping forward and pressing his hand on the ghetto statue. If the 9-tailed beasts are integrated, 10 tails will reappear, and the sacred tree will come. But it doesn't make sense, Lan Yu said, raising his hand slightly. A little girl appeared, 2 by wooden golem, 4 or 5 years old, still in a coma. Chi. As everyone looked sideways, Lan Yu's hand was like an illusion, directly piercing the little girl's body. Suddenly caught a roaring tail beast. Caw! Before the second tail ran away, he was directly torn apart by Lan Yu's spiritual power. Go in. Lan Yu directly punched the second-tailed chakra into the ghetto statue. She opened one eye and her aura suddenly increased. Lan Yu didn't rush to absorb her Wei's soul energy, but sealed it in the Lingza space. Otsutsuki Hagoromo, I really look forward to your appearance. Lan Yu thought so, and repaired the lives of the 2 wooden golems, and threw them directly to Tsunade. Take it along and train with the new kids who have joined the Empire. Yes, Your Majesty. Tsunade took over from Wooden Golem and retired in response. Hashirama opened his mouth and was about to say something. White Zetsu walked over and said respectfully. Your Majesty, the affairs of the major ninja villages spread wildly to the ninja world, and many people said that countries will jointly attack the Invisible Empire. Lan Yu's jaw slightly, without paying attention, looked at White Zetsu. It just happens that you are here, and then you will use the ghetto statue to cultivate 100,000 clones. You don't need to fight, and you will directly join the intelligence department. What is missing? Asked Senju Hashirama. Hashirama. What is the look in this pale fellow? Although White Zetsu is the product of infinite Tsukuyomi among the ancient humans, the production of the clone is different, and it needs to rely on his unique and preserved robe technique. Lan Yu wants 100,000 clones, not 100,000 White Zetsu. There is no need to fight in avatars at all, just to fill the personnel of the Imperial Intelligence Department. 100,000 avatar conditions. 1. Golem Vitality, Tailed Beast Chakra. 3. Hashirama's Cell. 4. Spore Division Technique. White Zetsu grinned and made 100,000 clones. It wouldn't work without Hashirama cells. Squirting, at least you have to cut 2 or 2 meats, right? 2 or 2 meat? Where should I cut it? Chapter 100. Empire Dinner, Madara. From today to be the Dance King, seeking support. Advertisement explained dozens of times. White Zetsu finally cut off Hashirama's 2 or 2 meats. Wow, Madara. Hashirama, who was cut into 2 pieces of meat, cried bitterly while holding Madara's thigh. It hurts. People here are all demons. They either beat me or cut me. Wow, I'm so pitiful, this idiot. Madara shook her legs fiercely. But Hashirama is like a shadow, clinging to each other, so he doesn't separate. Feeling the strange look from Lan Yu, Madara launched a brutal and inhuman beating at Hashirama. Ah, it hurts. Remember it for me. Be serious from now on. Don't slap me in the face. Are you jealous of my handsomeness? You are dead today. These 2 people are really strange. Lan Yu expressed his eyes open for 2 people with such different personalities to become friends. Also at this time, Makoto came with a tray, with a delicate box on it. Your Majesty, they are. Seeing the 2 get along so well, Makoto's big beautiful eyes became a little bigger. Lan Yu chuckled lightly. It's good to get used to. He also didn't like every subordinate holding a straight face. White Zetsu is cheap, Hashirama is very sad, Jiraiya is very sloppy, Kakuzu is very greedy for money and so on. They are all composing different landscapes for the Empire. Seeing this scene, Uchiha Madara stopped and said very seriously, Hashirama, what you should know is already understood. You have only 2 choices, return to the Pure Land and join the Empire. Don't pretend to be a fool again. Senju Hashirama. Goal 1. Unify the ninja world. Goal 2. Suppress Otsutsuki. Goal 3. Explore new world. The above are the goals that Hashirama currently knows. The Otsutsuki clan all over the universe gave Senju Hashirama a great shock. Suddenly, he felt how small the ninja world is, like dust. Such a small ninja world, there is still constant civil strife. The day when the Otsutsuki clan really wants to call, who will resist? Contend against 1 or 2, can you still contend against a clan? Senju Hashirama is a little worried, but his heart is beyond ordinary people's imagination. Konoha was established to prevent chaos in the country of fire, but it was just a small family. Ninja world is everyone. Everyone is gone, what's the use of Shaojia? What kind of ambition is this man? I'm still worried about the small ninja world. Senju Hashirama glanced at Lan Yu inadvertently, and only with such ambitions would he not squeeze the people after unifying the ninja world. If it's as Madara said, Quincy can live forever. Then they will bring long-lasting peace, and Lan Yu will also be a great king. Madara. Seeing the serious and expectant look of the other party, Hashirama said this sentence very seriously. If I don't join, will the dinner party be out of my share? Very good, you win. Uchiha Madara took a deep breath and took the box. Open it and take out a spiritual orb with Lan Yu's blood. Like Madara, Hashirama can directly become a cage-level quencher. Keep bloodline, the holy text of self-awakening. Without further ado, he put it directly into Hashirama's mouth and pressed it. Oh, Ben, what are you giving me? Lingzu entered the abdomen, and before Hashirama finished speaking, he felt a terrible pain. He swears. All the pain from childhood to adulthood is multiplied by 100 times, and it is not as painful as it is now. But Hashirama is Dujien, still laughing easily. Madara, by the way, my granddaughter Shaozuna is so old, you are still a single dog. You really laugh at me, ha 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 ha. At this moment, Lan Yu couldn't help but support his forehead. If Hashirama had no strength, he would have been killed 10,000 times. Boom. A terrible Ryotsu rose to the sky. Before the people in the True World City were astonished, there was an extremely angry voice. Senju Hashirama, I am going to kill you, after 1 hour. Orochimaru also returned from Sora no country, brought a lot of scientists, materials and technology to fill up the shortage of personnel in the Academy of Sciences. Quickly. Lan Yu led everyone to the side hall. For the first time, all the elites gathered for dinner. They are all of different ages, different eras, and different ninja villages, and they will all be companions in the future, and they must always understand each other. Lan Yu sat high on the throne and looked down below. Step by step down. On both sides of the vast hall below, there are 2 rows, each with a table alone, full of fine wines and food. Look at the left column in turn. Madara, Hashirama, Tsunade, Mikoto, Kushina, Konan, Terumi Mei. Look at the right column in turn. Orochimaru, Jiraiya, Kakuzu, Nagato, Yahiko, Saku Shigeru, White Zetsu, Gui Zhao. There are currently 15 people who are eligible to be seated. As for Namikaze Minato, Senju Nawaki, Uzumaki Nanako, the 2 from Wooden Golem, and the PR Street Youths who applied to join the Empire and so on. And Yi Kang who was perceived by Lan Yu. They were all arranged to enter the Sacred Army, and became a mixed-blood Quinquisher. Be it, Recruit Egg, 15 Admiral, 6 Interns. Those who are outstanding can join the Holy Legion. Advertisement. This is Lan Yu's original words, he is no longer attached to the original characters. In the ninja world, Lan Yu believes that there will be more talented penultimate people, and maybe they can bring some surprises. Go for the capable, go for the weak. Today's dinner, relax a little. Withdrawing his thoughts, Lan Yu looked at the men below and raised a glass to speak. A cup of respect to the Empire, a cup of respect to the future. We are invincible ahead of us. For a time, everyone's heart is surging. The goal of the Empire was never the present, but the distant future. The more I understand the ambition of the man on the throne, the more I feel how insignificant my previous ideals are. After a glass of wine, White Zetsu smiled bitterly. Although the so-called Daming Mansion is incomparable to our empire, but their dinner parties have various performances, we can't always drink bars. The dinner party was a little hasty, and Lan Yu didn't think much about it. Mainly this is not Blue Star, there are not so many entertainment activities at present. Everyone looked at White Zetsu. I heard that this guy vomited blood from 3rd Mizukage, what a talent. White Zetsu coughed slightly, I'll do a dance? Everyone was speechless. Just your image, can't it pierce the blind? Jiraiya Thief laughed. How about Mr. Orochimaru, the Dean of our Academy of Sciences, change into women's clothing and sing and dance for us? Puff. Orochimaru spouted a sip of wine, gritted his teeth and stared at Jiraiya. That's all about singing and dancing. As long as your majesty is happy, he can come here for a while. 0. Look for flowers, but what do women mean? Not good. When the police arrived, Lan Yu's eyes lit up. Orochimaru felt abrupt. If your majesty wanted to see, then he bit the bullet and jumped, but his wise life would be ruined. But Lan Yu didn't say anything. Orochimaru breathed a sigh of relief. Turn sideways and give Jiraiya a small punch. Hearing Jiraiya's words, Hashirama's eyes brightened. I think Madara can, he tendon. Ban's heart jumped and immediately raised his glass. Drink. Hashirama ignored it and continued. Tenten invites people to dance, this. Madara's face turned dark, and she took another sip of food and handed it over. You taste this, it's really good. Continuing to ignore, Hashirama said loudly to himself. What does this mean? The explanation class really wants to dance. We have to satisfy him, right? This B************. D. Madara stood up and attracted the attention of the audience. Lan Yu showed expectant eyes, really want to see the style of the dance king. Seeing that Madara didn't move, it was not easy for others to speak up. And Hashirama's voice resounded through the hall. Come on, 0, one of the ninja dance king. Hashirama's excited shout drove his emotions, and then everyone shouted in excitement. Ninja Shura dancing? Looking forward to it? Uchiha Madara. I'm talking about dancing, not dancing. Hashirama, you wait for me. Seeing this, Lan Yu looked at Hashirama who was booing. As a friend of the class, you shouldn't be bad, right? Hashirama's expression stagnated, he couldn't. But he really wanted to watch the class dance, and it was worthwhile to make some sacrifices. I saw Hashirama stood up and said arrogantly, as long as Madara jumps, I will jump. Dignified Ninja Shura won't even be afraid of this, right? Then just go look at the gate. Oh my god, how to excite. Everyone looked at Madara, took a deep breath, and beat Hashirama 10,000 times in their hearts. Very well, today I will let you know what an amphitheater is. Others say that Madara doesn't care, but Hashirama's radical method is more effective than anything. The life of the old man in the cave is extremely boring. Madara also learned a lot of boring skills, letting the clone show pass the time. Is it difficult to dance? Please call me Uchiha Dance King. White Zetsu, play music. Master Madara, what music? Here is a song, The Pure Land of Bliss. There is this kind of song? As the music played, Lan Yu found that the lyrics were really Pure Land of Bliss. Songs composed only because there is a pure land in the ninja world have nothing to do with Blue Star's song. But this is Madara dancing, shoot it. Lan Yu took out an ultra-clear camera created by fantasy. Start recording. Who says this is black history? Obviously it is a fond memory of Uncle Madara. Let's dance together, get up, come. The style of the Dance King cannot be described in words, abbreviated. The ability of Ban to dance like this shows how determined he is to integrate into the empire. Say goodbye to the past, start with the Dance King. There are also sisters who talk like this below. Kushina, Makoto, can I ask your majesty to ask questions at night? Makoto. You are too impatient, I will accompany you. Tsunade. You can't grasp it, leave it to me. Conan. I can too. Terumi Mei. I want to ask too. Chapter 101. Imperial Devil Training Camp, Sage of Six Paths has appeared, seeking support. Advertisement hash. Bright morning. The Uchiha Dance King played music and danced last night, but it made everyone drink up. Chatting with each other and toasting, the excitement didn't end until midnight. The Empire dinner ended perfectly. At a dinner, we all learned a lot about each other, and also eliminated some sense of estrangement across ages. If you say who is the happiest, naturally Hashirama. Because he did what he dreamed of, which was to make Madara dance. Next is our invisible empire, His Majesty. The main reason is to gather so many elites. The incident of having a girl visit in the middle of the night is purely incidental. You are so courageous. Lan Yu got up and looked at Tsunade-ji who was pretending to be asleep. Last night, 5 girls, Konan, Kushina, Terumi Mei, Makoto and Tsunade, came to the door drunk together. Ask a question? Beauties, go to rest when you get drunk. Harmony God tier can't afford to provoke. Therefore, Lan Yu threw a sieve casually, which happened to fall under his hands and feet. Then, just stay. Tsunade, is this a flip brand? A pleasant evening always flies quickly, the brilliant sun shined through the window. Seeing Tsunade's eyelashes fluttering or pretending to be asleep, Lan Yu also didn't care about 790. There's nothing wrong with the empire at the moment. You can rest for a few more days. Having said that, Lan Yu's voice aggravated. Do you understand? Your Majesty, I listen. Inertially, Tsunade immediately opened his eyes and sat up, facing each other for a time. What? The quilt slid down, and Tsunade stayed for a while, blushing immediately and went in again. Lan Yu was quite calm. Actually, sighs. That's the case. There is nothing silly. Lan Yu, you can't imagine my happiness. Let's rest. Lan Yu turned around and left the room. The Tsunade in the quilt breathed a sigh of relief. Really dying. What did I think last night? Drinking is a mistake, but isn't that what I want? Become your Majesty's woman. How many imperial women's dreams are? A good man like your Majesty, except for the stone-hearted stone girl, would not be moved. Well, your Majesty's room, I will sleep again. The plan for a day is in the morning. Very early, the streets of True World City became lively. In the east of the city, many people sweat on the training ground. Small divine destruction. Fei Linjiao, a red-haired boy launched a small divine destruction. Another yellow-haired boy dodged very quickly with his feet, and another brown-haired boy yelled 666. You can use divine destruction? Don't you also use Fei Lian's feet? The yellow-haired boy and the red-haired boy spoke at the same time, and then smiled at each other. Immediately afterwards, the two turned their heads and spoke at the same time again. Nawaki, how about you? Senju Nawaki is full of confusion. If you say it, I will treat it as a fish. However, the man from Senju's family didn't allow him to admit defeat. Nawaki disappeared instantly under the surprised eyes of the two. The realm of shadows? Namikaze Minato and Mom were really surprised. Divine Loss and Fei Linjiao are both fine manipulations of Spirit Sun and spiritual power. But the Shadow Realm is different, and most of the current Saint soldiers have not learned it. This requires inspiration. All the skills of the mixed blood Quincy killer must be learned by themselves. The two police officers were surprised. Nawaki akimbo his hips and said, last night, my inspiration flashed, and suddenly it will be. I am powerful. No matter how strong you attack, no matter how fast you are, you won't be able to hit me, ha ha ha. This guy. Namikaze Minato glanced at each other, making eye contact. Sasori looked back in amazement, that is, Senju Hashirama-senpai? Huh, Grandpa? Senju Nawaki turned his head in surprise, but saw nothing. At this time, Minato walked behind Nawaki with Fei Lian's feet, and carried it with one foot. Let you sing. Oh, you sneak attack, I'm not convinced. Nawaki yelled, lying on the ground. Before getting up, Shay also ran over and kicked. What a sneak attack, it's your brain, the first person who really wants to go on the battlefield is you. Nawaki yelled, no, I am an immortal god. Minato was speechless. Sasori, let me come and wake up this second illness. Jealous, you are jealous. Yes, we are just jealous, come to mixed doubles him. See this scene. Not far away, two girls who were training hard laughed, and another girl frowned slightly. The two recognized the reality by wooden golem. She was only 4 or 5 years old, and was thrown into the holy soldiers poorly. Uzumaki Nanako didn't say much, but the girl Hikura felt heavy in her heart. Advertisement. Their talent is strong. Hikura wanted to show off the talent of ninjas and take the opportunity to contact the elite of the empire. But not long after entering the city, she was invited by the sage troops to join. Yikang thought about it and wanted to join. This was her undercover opportunity. But then, the newcomers all drank a large glass of bloodshot water. The pain passed, chakra was washed away. From a Jonin, he directly became a recruited egg of the saint soldiers whose spiritual power is only comparable to Genin. While this frightened Yikang, he was also extremely shocked. It is completely different from the chakra system. It was the power system that directly touched the soul, which made her extremely strange and shocking. Except that some people's bloodline will be retained, any ninja methods are useless, and they can't send a letter to San Shinobi Village, they can only continue to lurking. Namikaze Minato, Senju Nawaki, Sasori. These 3 children brought great pressure to Yikang. Only those with outstanding performance have the opportunity to enter the Holy Legion and become an elite who can directly talk to Lan Yu. But she hasn't learned a skill at present. The trio has already used a skill proficiently. In terms of talent, huge gap. The holy soldiers gather. At this moment, a calm voice suddenly sounded. Everyone was shocked. The training here is only part of the sacred army, which alternates with other sacred soldiers patrolling the city. Soon everyone stood in a few rows neatly. It's him. When Shie stood up, he looked forward. An indescribable anger and hatred filled my heart. Hitaki Shumo, Konoha's white fang. The hatred of parents is not shared. Feeling a very special gaze, Hitaki Tsukumo looked over, and suddenly saw the unabashed resentment of a red-haired boy. Shuamao couldn't help but speak. 3 rows and 5 rows of holy soldiers stand out. Your name. Obeying orders is the first criterion of the sacred troops. After Sasori got out of the queue, he looked at the man at close range, unable to control his emotions at all, and gritted his teeth. Mom. The name. Hitaki Tsukumo turned over the list and related information in his hand. Name. Sasori. Age. 9 years old. Origin. Sanagakure. Family and friends. Chio, Ebizo. Good at puppet art. Goal. Become stronger, get revenge, and fight for the rise of the empire. Remarks. Hitaki Tsukumo, a member of the Holy Legion, has the vengeance of killing his father and mother. At the end, Hitaki couldn't help but his eyelids twitched. Good guy, really good guy. The kid came here for revenge. I have to say, it's a lot of perseverance. No wonder that today, Your Majesty ordered him to train the sacred troops. It turned out to be him to solve the problem. What the empire wants is harmony and stability, not infighting. Hitaki Tsukumo understood this very well, and even more clearly that he was not allowed to kill Sasori, and that no one could harm the people of the empire for no reason. This is the first iron law of the empire. If you want to survive in the ninja world, the first thing is to learn to hide your emotions. Hitaki Tsukumo calmly walked to Sasori and looked down at the resentful child. Unconcealed resentment like you, if I were the enemy, you would be dead. Sasori squeezed his hand and looked straight in cold eyes. Why, dare you not to recognize it? You are not qualified enough for me to deny anything. As Hitaki Tsukumo said, he smiled indifferently. Try to become stronger. When you join the Holy Legion, every member can make an unreasonable request to Your Majesty, even if you resurrect your parents. Sasori's eyes widened suddenly. The angry eyes were full of hope. Resurrect your parents. The excitement trembled all over. Although Sasori in the original trajectory is lonely and indifferent, he is only a child under 10 years old, and what he desires most is the care of his parents. He looked at Hitaki Tsukumo inexplicably, but Sasori was still hostile. This news is good, don't think I will thank you. 5.6. If you are unhappy, wait until you become stronger. Waved his hand to signal Sasori to return to the team, Tsukumo said again. After speaking, Hitaki Tsukumo looked at the sacred troops with solemn expression. Now, immediately, everyone goes around the training ground 100 times. Everyone couldn't help but stare. Yesterday's Jiraiya was only allowed to run 10 laps. Listen to me, go home and farm if you can't do it. Following Hitaki Tsukumo's solemn speech, everyone moved in unison. The 2 wooden golems, 4 or 5 years old, wanted to cry without tears. Where is this? Devil training camp, at the same time. Lan Yu sat in the back garden, absorbing the last 2-tailed soul energy. Boom. The surface is calm and the waves are calm, and the spiritual power and Ryatsu in Lan Yu's body begin to explode. Hōgyoku also began to radiate energy, helping Lan Yu to break that level of boundaries. Also at this moment. What is it? The void suddenly split, and an illusory hand grabbed towards Lan Yu. Lan Yu opened his eyes and whispered calmly. Do you show up now? You really have a good time? Otsutsuki Hagoromo. Boom. Chapter 102. My name Otsutsuki Hagoromo. Stop, Azu, please support. Advertisement boom. A terrifying Ryatsu directly turned into a light beam that blasted through the sky. There was also a huge roar from the collision, shocked everyone in the invisible empire. On the street. The two men walked, feeling the style and excitement of real-world city. Madara, who was shopping with Hashirama, looked up at the sky. Hashirama also focused his gaze. This is your majesty's Ryotsu. No, there is also a strong strange Ryotsu. No, there are people in the ninja world who cultivate souls. No, this is fighting. You just realized it. Madara rushed towards the central building without thinking. Hashirama followed. Where the Holy Army is, the holy soldiers who were running around the training ground were also taken aback. The recruiter Namikaze Minato was stunned. Who is fighting? This is a strong sense of oppression. It's just a light Ryotsu who has washed away unconsciously. While exhausting, he squeezed his hands tightly. Work hard and work hard. Only in this way can you have a chance to enter the Holy Legion. Wow, look, what is that? Senju Nawaki shouted, his eyes filled with shock. I saw the vast sky of the Invisible Empire. All of them were torn apart by the terrifying Ryotsu, and the atmosphere was temporarily shattered that could not be stopped. Show a black and silent space. Hitaki Tsukumo was also taken aback and then said, there will be no trouble with your majesty in the empire, you continue to train. Then Hitaki Tsukumo disappeared in place. Orochimaru from the Academy of Sciences, Tsunade who accompanied Lan Yu to work last night, Konan, Kushina and others on the street. They also rushed towards the center building, and in the rear garden. Lan Yu still sits on the ground calmly. Very calmly continued to absorb the last soul energy of the two tails. This, time to make a move, you really have a good time. Otsutsuki Hagoromo. Lan Yu didn't expect the kind-eyed guy in the original book to be so insidious. When he was promoted, he suddenly attacked, pity. The so-called illusory palm that broke the void does not contain much chakra. Maybe it's a hasty shot, or maybe it's unable to magnify the move in the ninja world. In short, Ryotsu, who was released by Lan Yu with all his strength, was shaken to life. Boom. One trick doesn't work. One more trick. In a space split in the sky, a hand appeared again. This is Susanoo's huge palm, crushed like a mountain. This kind of unconcealed malice, really interesting. Seeing this attack several times more powerful than just now, Lan Yu raised his eyes slightly. Shit. Ryotsu turned into a bright scarlet lightning and burst out from GNU. A red light flashed across the void and collided with Suzuo's palm. Suzuo's palm was destroyed. The atmosphere shattered in an instant, and formed terrible energy tides scattered in all directions. Buzzing. A sky-shielding barrier protects all the surrounding buildings, and no matter how energy impacts, it will not bring a trace of damage to the surroundings. After the dust is gone, as if time stood still, Lan Yu still sat calmly to stabilize Ryotsu and spiritual power that had just exploded. And there was no sound on the other side. Brush. As the space crack closes, a figure flashed in the air in front of Lan Yu. As soon as the figure appeared, an extremely ancient and heavy breath was purged. That is a level of oppression that ordinary ninjas can't imagine even after racking their brains in their entire life. Full of mystery, come, float in the air cross-legged. Wearing a white mysterious robe, short white hair, and an old face. The lavender-rippled Rinnegan was half open and half solid, and the fairy tin rod was floating behind him, with 2 horns on his forehead, and 9 truth-seeking balls hovering under him. Legend has it that all ninjutsu was created by him. Rumors in troubled times call him the creation god sent from heaven, and some people say that he is the devil who destroys everything. But it has always been regarded as a mythical figure by the world. Show up now, Sage of 6 Paths, Otsutsuki Hagoromo. The common ancestor of the Uzumaki, Senju, and Uchiha tribes. You who come from an alien planet like the goddess of Yu, why disturb the natural laws of ninja world? As if the sound echoed from the ancient times, the figure of Sage of 6 Paths was like a dream, as if it would dissipate at any time. The oppressive gaze fell on Lan Yu. No matter what you are going to do, your soul should return to the Pure Land, remember what the old man said. My name, Otsutsuki Hagoromo, advertisement for Sage of 6 Paths. The existence of Lan Yu is heresy. As Lan Yu thought, Sage of 6 Paths needs to meet Indra, Ashura, and 10 Tails Chakra gather before they can take the initiative to show up. But the moment Indra Chakra in the class was annihilated, it also shocked Sage of 6 Paths. No matter how you say it, Indra are both his sons. Chakra continues to reincarnate. In the eyes of Sage of 6 Paths, it is not an alternative rebirth. That time when I was awakened, it was the first time I noticed the appearance of Lan Yu in the ninja world. With the goal of maintaining peace, maintaining tranquility and order. This is the principle of Sage of 6 Paths, can be found by Sage of 6 Paths. Too many dead lives, souls have not returned to the Pure Land, and the existence of Quincy such as Lan Yu completely broke the laws of nature. Play with the soul of the dead wantonly, even the soul of the tail beast was swallowed. This shocked Sage of 6 Paths, but at the same time, his heart was extremely restless. No one is allowed to destroy the order of the Pure Land. Why does the old man have a familiar feeling? Is it an illusion? After observing Lan Yu up close, Sage of 6 Paths was slightly shocked. I always feel like I have seen Lan Yu somewhere, definitely not the kind I have observed recently. Instead, long ago, just like a glimpse at a young age. It seemed that it was a long-forgotten memory, but it was captured by Sage of 6 Paths. Goddess of Mao, have you forgotten all the words, Lord Mother? During Lan Yu's words, Sage of 6 Paths' pupils were clearly shrinking. Then Lan Yu's voice fell indifferent. I don't like someone standing above me talking. Get me down. Boom. Lan Yu's Ryotsu squeezed across like a tsunami, and Sage of Six Paths immediately shook his body. For the first time, there was a ray of shock in his eyes. Then it seemed to bear infinite gravity, the whole person fell downward. But Sage of Six Paths responded extremely fast. After a sudden burst of tyrannical aura, he rolled over and landed calmly on the ground. Staring at Lan Yu inexplicably, he didn't say what he was thinking. Swipe it. At this time, Madara, Hashirama, and others all rushed to it. His Majesty. Kushina and others glanced at the unobstructed Lan Yu, and they all focused on the seemingly amiable but expressionless old man. The breath is ancient and the appearance is peculiar. The body is illusory, and Rinnegan? You are. Thinking of what Lan Yu said, he was the second person in the ninja world to turn on Rinnegan. Madara stared at the opponent for a few seconds before speaking in a deep voice. It's really surprising. I didn't expect the legendary Sage of Six Paths to be alive. What? Sage of Six Paths? Kakuzu and others couldn't contain it, their eyes widened. The hearts of everyone were full of shock and they couldn't believe their eyes. The other side's legend is too old. Some people say that for thousands of years, others say that for thousands of years. In short, it is a figure made up of myths in the hearts of countless people. But when Sage of Six Paths appeared, it was enough to break the worldview of countless people in the ninja world. Perfect experiment 793 body behind everyone. Orochimaru licked his mouth excitedly, his eyes full of enthusiasm for science. Can't wait to press Sage of Six Paths on the operating table. Dissected 10,000 times. I am so relieved to see you guys. Eyes passing by Hashirama, Ban, Kushina, Mikoto, Tsunade, Sage of Six Paths. The eyes are full of inexplicable colors. What is your look? Do you want to die? Uchiha Madara's eyebrows were cold and unhappy. The other person's eyes seemed to say, grandchildren and granddaughters, come and meet our ancestors. This kind of character. I really miss the old man. Feeling the arrogance of Madara's haki, Sage of Six Paths was emotional. He seemed to see the stubborn face of his son Indra again. Boom. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Non-fantasy creation. Are you done talking nonsense? Newly developed, can be integrated into the spiritual power system, substantial spiritual body clone. Hashirama's eyes widened, and he muttered, well, if I'm not mistaken, his eyes are like those of an old father caring for a stupid son. The moment the words fell, Hashirama was kicked out by Madara. Sage of Six Paths also slightly twitched his eyelids, and immediately looked at Lan Yu. Wow. As long as I promise the old man to release the soul of the tail beast, and not to disturb the order of the Pure Land, The eyes of everyone behind him twitched. As Lan Yu spoke, a figure walked out of her body, exactly the same. Come on. Even the soul of the tail beast still contains some will of 10 tails. If you swallow all the souls of the tail beast, it is very likely that you will be ruined. It's so ridiculous. Hashirama doesn't get beaten a few times a day, so he feels uncomfortable. Lan Yu Avatar said indifferently. Before the body is stable and strong, I hope you will not be killed by me, in that case. Chapter 103. Truth-Seeking Ball. The winner is qualified to define order, seeking support. Advertisement. Wow. At the moment when Lan Yu's avatar's words fell, they disappeared. Next moment, Jiraiya and others saw the soul body of Sage of Six Paths containing part of chakra. Kicked to the sky by Lan Yu clone. Meow meow meow. Lan Yu's avatar kept turning back in the sky like a phantom, kicking Sage of Six Paths every time it turned back, and the sky roared. Hi, your majesty clone is so strong, that's... Yahiko below just said. Boren shook his head. Your majesty's clone is strong, but how do I feel that this legendary fairy is so weak? Jiraiya turned by Kugan. Stupid boy, I am really weak, I was kicked and exploded, so... The main thing is that your majesty is strong. But, watching your majesty beat Sage of Six Paths. What is the inexplicable little excitement? Uchiha Madara hugged his arms and said flatly. This old immortal is just a soul body, and it is still an incomplete soul body, and the chakra on his body has not reached the Six Paths level. Hashirama didn't know where it came out again, and echoed. Yes, Madara is the best. Madara kicked Hashirama off again. Tsunade frowned. He seems to be able to mobilize Lingza with a very high concentration of Lingza, which is too weird. Hitaki Tsukumo cautiously said, since he dared to show up, there must be more than these forces. Be careful to guard against his sneak attack on your majesty's body. Hearing this, Orochimaru turned around and looked at Lan Yu's body, which was growing in awe. It's horrible. Xiao Wanzi is speechless inside. Immediately, Orochimaru licked his mouth and smiled. If he dares to do this, 100 lives will not be enough for him to die. Sky. Lan Yu's clone continues to beat Sage of Six Paths. There are not many soul clones of chakra who dare to speak loudly in front of my body. Lan Yu's clone is full of indifference, and the target of this foot is the head of Sage of Six Paths. Who gave you the courage? Wait for your body to show up again nonsense. Whoosh whoosh. At the moment when Lan Yu's avatar fell, the 9 black balls floating under Sage of Six Paths continued to spin and fly over. And in the process of flying, 4 fused to form a huge shield, and 5 formed a pitch black sword. While defending, the 5 parties attack, truth-seeking ball. Lan Yu's eyes flickered. Truth-seeking ball contains yin and yang and the 5 elements, and it can easily display the power of transcending the limits of blood succession and elimination. I can ignore all ninjutsu. Time and space ninjutsu means dissatisfaction. Truth-seeking ball contains huge energy, which can destroy a forest in an instant. Only the power of Master Six Paths, or the use of Six Paths chakra, can you use your body to hit hard. Touching with your body without any protection will definitely not work. Bombing, in Sage of Six Paths also extremely surprise. The attacking Lan Yu clone's feet exploded with terrifying power, which directly distorted a space and sent a terrible shockwave. The shield formed by 4 truth-seeking balls was directly shattered by the shockwave. His whole body was swallowed and drowned by the shockwave, turning into a streamer in the sky and flying out. Lan Yu also avoided the sword of truth-seeking ball. Crack. The other 5 truth-seeking ball swords hit each other as if losing control. Distance limit. Lan Yu avatar saw this scene, his brows moved slightly. Truth-seeking ball and expansion truth-seeking ball is not a level at all. There are also distance restrictions near middle distance. The farthest control distance is only 70 meters, whoosh whoosh. Immediately, the truth-seeking ball moved again and flew away, only to see that Sage of Six Paths had flown back. His body was full of scars, but he was constantly repairing it. It turned out to be an attack that hurts the soul. I never thought that there are humans that can destroy the truth-seeking ball with only physical strength. Sage of Six Paths was full of solemn emotions. Time and space ninjutsu transfers, immortal contend, Six Paths power contend, etc. have all been flashed in the mind of Sage of Six Paths. Ordinary people directly rely on their bodies to resist truth-seeking ball, that is, they are looking for death. Lan Yu's clone did not touch her body. Distortion of space plus shockwave is enough. Of course, the Lan Yu clone can also be wrapped in spiritual armor, separated from the truth-seeking ball and then hit hard. In short, it does not require direct physical contact. Seeing Lan Yu's avatar and still having to do it, Sage of Six Paths said solemnly, "I treat you." Speak English. Lan Yu said indifferently. Sage of Six Paths was silent for a while, and then said, "The old man has no malice against your body. As long as your body immediately stops and swallows the soul of the last tail beast and releases all the souls of the tail beast, and no longer disturbs the order of the Pure Land, I will immediately go." Lan Yu is indifferent. There is no malice, why sneak attack on the main body? It was a temptation, it was rude. Sage of Six Paths speaks righteously. Advertisement, what a temptation. Lan Yu couldn't help but laughed. You are really funny, I only understand one point, that is, I must abide by your so-called order, or I must agree with your philosophy, I must listen to your words, otherwise. I'm a heresy, evil party, big villain. Sage of Six Paths frowned slightly. It makes sense, because my idea itself is right. Sage of Six Paths didn't say this sentence, and directly said, "You from an alien planet, don't go wrong anymore." I'm wrong? Lan Yu's avatar looked at Sage of Six Paths with disdain. In a world dominated by power, you even talk to me about right and wrong, black and white, good or bad, don't you think it is naive? Tell you, as long as I am strong, even if I kill all the creatures, I can say that I am a good person. Do not. Lan Yu appeared in front of Sage of Six Paths instantly. Ryotsu directly suppressed it. The winner is qualified to define order. History is written by the victors. Boom. At the moment he stagnated, a kick of the terrifying force fell, directly kicking Sage of Six Paths down, and a stream of light directly hit the ground. Do you deserve to impose your ideas on me? Lan Yu is a clone, indifferently overlooking the ruins below. There is no need to distinguish between right and wrong. Just know, Sage of Six Paths is enough to be a winner. You really are heresy. Lan Yu's avatar made Sage of Six Paths a little angry when he got up again. What victor writes history, defines everything. Could it be that if the goddess of Uzbek wins and changes it in the history books, he can become a great goddess? Can nothing happen? Can you be a savior? A person like you, even if the ninja world is unified, it can only bring chaos and disaster. I feel that Lan Yu's thinking is too extreme, and Sage of Six Paths is simply incomprehensible. The most important thing is, Lan Yu swallowed his soul and became stronger, which was unacceptable to him. The soul of the dead should go to the Pure Land. How can it be a tool for careerists to become stronger? In summary, as long as Lan Yu is still a Quincy, then Sage of Six Paths cannot agree. After all, it is also the soul body, it's hostile to me again, and it's a life form with a very high concentration of spirits. You think you are Shinigami Ichigo. Lan Yu's avatar is extremely reasonable. The more I look at Sage of Six Paths, the more I feel he is the biggest obstacle to the body. After all, Quincy is the natural enemy of the soul. Soul Society, the protagonist team confronts the friend Yhwach. In the ninja world, Sage of Six Paths can still form a gang to deal with the body? Although I don't understand who you said Shinigami Ichigo is, the old man decided. Sage of Six Paths raised his hand and touched the void. Opening a dark space channel, countless lingza and chakra, 2 energies gushing into him. More and more terrifying aura, the big pillar and others below couldn't help but be shocked. Sage of Six Paths looks extremely solemn, you must be sealed. Zhao Nuo Zhao. Suddenly feel that Lan Yu is extremely difficult to kill, Sage of Six Paths can only say so. Lan Yu avatar didn't care about these. Send your soul to the birth of the king. Peace. Truth-seeking ball is not a trap, it is an expanded truth-seeking ball. As the pupils of Sage of Six Paths shrank, Lan Yu's clone turned into a stream of light and rushed down. I hope you can bring some fun to the ontology. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Lan Yu's body opened his eyes indifferently, responsibility. Instead, he was thinking about his ability to open space at will. Although it has not been shown in the original book, Lan Yu clearly remembers that the Book of Formation reads, Otsutsuki Hagoromo, Hai has the attributes of the net. Feeling the stronger aura of Lan Wudang Zhongyu, Sage of Six Paths also frowned. Sage of Six Paths has swallowed the soul to become stronger. How evil is it? I can't keep you. Such as the stream and the sea, although they are both this kind of material, there is a qualitative difference between the two. The clone is integrated into Lan Yu's body, and the aura that emanates invisibly is stronger. Six Paths class arrived. Niyu's mental energy was completely swallowed, and Hōgyoku was shaking slightly, seeming to cheer for Lan Yu's promotion. The skyrocketing Ryotsu and spiritual power have finally stabilized. Blood following the snare. Chapter 104. Six Paths Suzuo shocks the world. Lan Yu powerfully enters the pure land of bliss. Advertisement, Zitsa. At the moment Lan Yu's words fell, Sage of Six Paths felt the pressure. Lan Yu's body is much stronger than the clone's breath. Decisive, take the lead. When Sage of Six Paths raised his right hand burst into an extremely dazzling thunder. Thunder and lightning, extremely terrifying. As soon as it appeared, it formed a sky full of thunder. Like lush branches. Every strand has a tyrannical destructive power, and it rushes towards Lan Yu quickly. Does it contain magic? Perceiving it seems that every ray of thunder and lightning has power running through the mountains. Lan Yu has to say that Sage of Six Paths random attacks are far beyond the limits of conventional ninjas. Fei Lian feat. Lan Yu instantly crossed the barriers. Coming to the sky above Sage of Six Paths, raising your hand is a shot of multiple divine destruction. Dozens of small, tyrannical sacred destruction proceeded from the fingertips. Boom boom boom. 9 truth-seeking balls instantly turned into shields and stood in front of you. Under the solemnity of Sage of Six Paths, truth-seeking balls were directly shattered. Lan Yu's moves are not ninjutsu, the destructive power is enough, and the truth-seeking ball has to be broken. After all, to put it bluntly, truth-seeking ball is a high-density chakra sphere containing various energy. Fantasy creation, multiple barriers, sage art wood-style wood expulsion jutsu. Below, I saw the thunder that was pressing down on the cover. Orochimaru immediately created dozens of grand barriers. Senju Hashirama was also extremely cautious, forming a seal to express meaning, and immediately created a huge shield like a ghost face and fangs inside the barrier. Boom. The barrier is broken when touched, but it also offsets some of the power. Thunder continued to explode on the Mutong shield, and in the blink of an eye, this shield, which was able to compete with Susanoo's sword, shattered 810 directly. Some of the aftermath was immediately flattened by everyone. Seeing this, Hashirama is full of solemnity. This man, Shanshu, is better than me. Everyone is speechless. Isn't this normal? Boom boom boom. The sky roared again. The broken truth-seeking ball was once again condensed by Sage of Six Paths in an instant, constantly defending against Lan Yu's attack. If the user has the full attribute chakra and the master yin-yang escape technique, the truth-seeking ball can continue to be manufactured if the truth-seeking ball is destroyed. So far only the Six Paths brothers can continue to manufacture. Are you only defensive? Lan Yu casually attacked Sage of Six Paths, constantly absorbing the soul from the opponent. He discovered that Sage of Six Paths has not been a white man in the Pure Land for thousands of years. Although the control of Lingza is far inferior to Lan Yu, it can be controlled. If you don't know the intelligence, defense is the best way. During the Sage of Six Paths battle, he was also learning Lan Yu's attack methods. He has been in the Pure Land for thousands of years, and he has indeed discovered a spirit that can be used outside of chakra, but he still can't use it perfectly for so many years. Don't even know how to absorb the promotion. If he really understands it, he can't say he can go further. Even, no longer rely on the Pure Land to return to the ninja world. So, Lan Yu suddenly accelerated, and came to the side of Six Paths in a flash, with terrible power condensed in his fist. You and your brother fought against the goddess Uyuni for a few months. After collecting the information, you shamelessly sealed it. How did he know that he had been playing for so long? Sage of Six Paths' pupils shrank, and immediately saw a terrifying shockwave coming from Lan Yu's hand, with a huge range. Engulf him in an instant. AHFG, boom. Sage of Six Paths turned into a beam of light flying backwards towards the sky, tearing apart the clouds. If Kagaya has multiple shadow clone techniques, it will be invincible. Lan Yu couldn't help but think so at the moment. Kagaya unlimited chakra. Multiple shadow clone. Even if the clone is not infinite chakra, it still has all of her abilities. 80 God's airstrikes. The strongest physical skills, offensive and defensive, perfect. Think about it. 100,000 Karu Yoruichi also performs 80 God's airstrikes. That picture is too bursting. No matter how much you do, Kakuzu will die. The ninja world is about to blow you up. Pity. Ms. Kagaya, only big tricks. Why don't you teach another day? Lan Yu thought so, feeling so exciting. He felt that if he did this, he might create an ultimate female devil. Kagaya. The protagonist? 10,000 concubines? Boom! Suddenly there was a huge roar in the sky. This shock affected the entire invisible empire, and even people in the surrounding countries looked at it in astonishment. The clouds are constantly being torn apart, a huge shadow appeared in the atmosphere. Before I could see it clearly, I felt an unparalleled sense of oppression. It seemed that some terrifying beast was about to appear. The extremely tyrannical breath makes everyone solemn. Below, Hashirama had a vote in his heart, and said in a deep voice, Madara, do you remember a hand that fell from the sky? Madara, you want to be beaten again? Boom! At this moment, the sky was completely torn apart. Advertisement. The first thing that was revealed was an indescribably large blue chakra arm. Hi, what is that? The monster is too big. What the hell is this? Is the demon god coming? The huge arms that emerged from the ripped sky made countless people below stunned. I couldn't believe my eyes, especially when it appeared in the sky. It shocked countless people. Hashirama and Madara can't help but be surprised. When they looked at each other, they could see the shock in their eyes, and they all spoke together. His one is bigger than yours. Both of them said so, and Orochimaru and others were shocked. Ban frowned. I admit it is bigger than mine, but also bigger than yours. Hashirama raised his eyebrows. This is not necessarily true, his one may not have my heavens. Madara snorted coldly. I still don't know how big your one is. It's not as big as is at all. Hashirama refused to accept. Why don't I take it out and compare it with his one? You take your one out. That won't work, there are too many people here. What are they talking about? Yahiko, Nagato and others looked confused. Jiraiya's eyes lit up, showing the old driver's smile, full of smirks. But the next moment, everyone can't laugh anymore. When the monster on the sky showed its whole body, the sky of the invisible empire was darkened, and only the behemoth was left in everyone's eyes. Everyone showed incredible gazes. I saw in the sky. There appeared a chakra materialized mighty god who covered the sky and covered the sun. The armor on the back had wings, and he held two swords, soaring in the sky. Real. See everything like a demon. Susanoo, how could it be? It's too big. Kushina and others who have met Madara or Makoto Susuo immediately recognized it. But, it's really too big. If the size of Hashirama's true several thousand hands is far beyond ordinary people's imagination, then the size of Susanoo in the sky is no less than it. Be regarded as equivalent specifications. You know that 9 tails are only as big as 10 tails' eyes. Use your fingers to fly 9 tails like flies. That's just the 10 tails squatting state, standing up and really covering the sky. But the complete body of Sage of 6 Paths is as high as the 10 tails standing up, contending with it. Madara's Suzuo is too small compared to 6 Paths. Especially looking up from the ground, the angle of view is a bit bigger. That's why I said, the one from 6 Paths may be bigger than true several thousand hands from Hashirama. Now, the roaring sound of thousands of thunder blasted the sky. Here from an alien planet, the old man wants you. Before the words fell, a huge bright arrow suddenly appeared. When countless people were still shocked by the size of 6 Paths Suzuo, they saw an even more shocking scene. Boom! I saw that the huge Suzuo was directly destroyed by that arrow. Energy collapses in the sky, the entire Suzuo cracked. Pretend to be forceful in front of me and die. Lan Yu spoke coldly and rushed directly to the sky. Ryotsu swept the pass strongly. Lan Yu hasn't arrived yet, and the whole Suzuo collapsed. Not good. Seeing this scene, Sage of 6 Paths' expression changed. No, as a soul body, the ninja world simply can't exert the strength of the old man to blast the sky. I saw the sky break through an extremely dark space channel. Sage of 6 Paths rushed directly in. Run? Did you run away? Perceiving the extremely rich soul in the channel, Lan Yu's body started to become excited. He didn't believe in the dignified Sage of 6 Paths, he just ran away with 2 strokes. Maybe something was prepared inside to wait for Lan Yu to enter. But Lan Yu is not afraid at all. Boom! The surging Ryotsu got involved in the passage, forcibly not allowing the space crack to close. I will hunt him down and come back soon. As soon as the words fell, Lan Yu rushed into the passage. This is the battle I want. Everyone was stunned and nodded immediately. Ignoring Hashirama's pulling at all, Lingza paved the way and headed towards the sky. Tsunade shrugged and said, Your Majesty, there will be nothing wrong with them. With such a big movement, the city must be in chaos. Let's vote to calm down. Kushina chuckled. It's very simple, just say that Suzuo is too boring, just a small toy made by hand. It's okay to play with. The 3 big brothers of the Empire have entered the pure land of bliss? Madara, wait for me. Grade 666, Makoto and others looked at each other. Seconded, this spreads out, can't you scare a large piece of it? Seeing this scene, Madara's blood began to boil. Hashirama stomped on the ground, accustomed to paving the way. Soon, it swayed into the sky. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. For any reason, I can't say that Sage of 6 Paths appeared, right? What will the world be like there? Terumi May stroked her hair lightly, she suspected it would be messier to say that. Chapter 105. Izuna. The whole family of Otsutsuki descendants are watching Lan Yu. Advertisement. Here it is. Lan Yu stepped into the pure land of bliss, and looked around with surprise in her eyes. Have to say, the concentration of the soul of the pure land is too high. For Quincy, it is a holy place for cultivation, a different space? Lan Yu looked forward. Here is a small space, very dark, as if it exists independently. In front of a group of spirits waiting for the fire, sitting a soul. The person's eyes were a little hollow. It wasn't until Lan Yu landed that his eyes changed a little, as if suddenly awake. His eyes are straight scarlet. The Pure Land cannot be so small. Lan Yu ignored this person, perceiving the surrounding space, and was also searching for Yui's Ryotsu. Boom! Lan Yu raised his hand and blasted open the space. It is clear. This space of Pure Land is similar to Ling's space, but it is very fragile to Lan Yu. Brush. Lan Yu disappeared in place. The straight scarlet-eyed man had hollow eyes again. It seems that if you don't touch others, you won't be sober. Just like the people of Rice Soil, they have no memory of Pure Land. Brush. At this moment, Ban rushed in. Seeing the open space in front of Lan Yu, I casually glanced at this place, thinking about pursuing Lan Yu. His body was shaken. Madara, wait for me. As the sound came, Hashirama also danglingly stepped on the lingza to pave the road. You, what's wrong with you? As soon as Hashirama came in, he saw Ban staying where he was, shaking all over. If you read it right, Madara's eyes are red. When Hashirama followed Madara's gaze, his eyes widened. The other party has a handsome face, his eyes are scarlet. Without waiting for the two to speak, the man sitting by the fire-raising device smiled gently. Brother, long time no see. Boom. This sentence is like the thunder burst in the heart of the ball. This arrogant and indifferent hockey man could not help but his shoulders tremble and his eyes flushed. Tick tick. The dripping tears couldn't stop falling from the eyes of the play, and the voice was dry. Yes, I'm sorry. Brother, what nonsense are you talking about? The young man smiled and got up and walked towards the class. Everything is voluntary. I am really happy to see you again. But what made the other party stunned? The ball couldn't stop back and didn't dare to look at him at all. Sorry, Izuna, I'm sorry. It's the eldest brother who didn't protect you. It's the eldest brother. I'm sorry, I clearly said to protect you. Madara squeezed her hand, her voice trembling, tears streaming down her face. Uchiha Izuna. The moment I saw Izuna, all of Madara's psychological defenses collapsed. Madara's heart is filled with emotions such as self-blame, regret, excitement, and pain. Izuna. Senju Hashirama was silent. Izuna is a gentle man, always silently dedicated to Uchiha. The last brother, the one who wanted to protect the most, was killed by Tobirama. It was also the day Izuna died. Ban closed his heart. Since then, his personality has changed drastically. Completely despair of the world, no longer trust anyone. Creator. To create a big villain, we must first give him super wisdom, powerful strength, and superb fighting skills. Deputy. How can such a perfect person be a villain? The creator thought for a while and left a sentence. Give him another bad life. Phew, it's really unacceptable. The question is, what about the protagonist? At the same time, Lan Yu passed through the lingza space and saw the souls with empty eyes, as if there was no end. Boom. So troublesome. Lan Yu just let go of Ryotsu. The Tongtian light pillar penetrated an unknown number of layers of lingza space and finally saw the light from the outside world. Brush. When Lan Yu flashed out of the dense space, he looked back. Even he couldn't help being surprised, back and bottom. It is a gray-black box, forming a sea of Wuhai, densely arranged like a dense honeycomb. With Lan Yu's vision and perception, there is no end in sight. There seems to be no boundary. In each box, there is a soul body without emotional fluctuations. Is this the Pure Land? Where is bliss? Lan Yu originally thought that the Pure Land of bliss was a lively otherworld where the soul could live. But now it seems like a cage in hell. Those soul bodies that cannot break free from the box can only be in the dark space. Advertisement guarding the fire, his expression numb. Only when other spirit bodies appear will they wake up their consciousness and recover briefly. No wonder. The unearthed people have no memory of Pure Land. This is when Lan Yu turned around. She looked forward again and couldn't help showing a mocking smile. What a ridiculous Pure Land order. Unlike the densely packed boxes at the back, there is a huge city in front of it. Although there are not many soul bodies inside, there are only a few hundred, but they are free and lively. Just like, one side is hell, one side is heaven. Uchiha, Whirlpool, Hyuga, Senju. Lan Yu glanced at it and clearly recognized the people in the city. All descendants of Six Paths, and they are all elites. This is what Sage of Six Paths said about Big Love. Why can those people only stay in the box, and the descendants of your choice can enjoy freedom? Don't hide the little mouse. Lan Yu perceives Ryotsu of Six Paths and speaks indifferently. A sigh resounded through the giant city. Two Dao, no, Dao's figure flashed now not far from Lan Yu. One of them is Sage of Six Paths. The other three, an old man with white pupils, an indifferent young man with scarlet eyes, and the last one looked a little sad as Hashirama. The four of them are all staring at Lan Yu. No, including the city. Otsutsuki Hagoromo and the family of Hamura descendants are watching Lan Yu. If this is to be replaced by someone else, I would have been scared a long time ago. Lan Yu. What do you look at? I haven't seen a handsome guy. Seeing the disdain and ridicule in Lan Yu's eyes, Sage of Six Paths sighed and said. As you can see, it's not what I wanted. The Pure Land is only the home of the soul, not the shinobi world. When you are alive, you can't avoid birth, old age, sickness, and death. There is no bliss after death. Sage of Six Paths took a deep breath. Even this city is a settlement that the old man in Homura spent thousands of years to build. Everything is in balance, the Pure Land is more orderly, and the city cannot accommodate more free souls. There are only 800. It's ridiculous. Lan Yu glanced at the free soul body in the city again, and said with disdain. 800 people, all of them are your family. Are you trying to laugh at me? Presumptuous, you. The scarlet-eyed young man suddenly spoke, and even wanted to make a move. Can be the next moment. A terrible force came from the abdomen. Then he turned into a streamer and flew out, directly piercing the entire city. Big brother. Another young man exclaimed. Lan Yu glanced in amazement as if he hadn't moved, and then ran to see the situation. Brother, this person is really not easy. The old man beside Sage of Six Paths has serious eyes. It's not that you have to choose the old man and the descendants of Homura. The two parties must ensure that they are flat, and the people who live in the house must be strong. Sage of Six Paths didn't want to get tainted, and continued to explain. When Anju was established, hundreds of the strongest souls had to be selected. However, in that era, the strongest souls happened to be descendants of Otsutsuki, not deliberately. 0. Since then, it has been difficult to accommodate more souls. The old man has been working hard all these years, but still can't break the balance of the Pure Land, old man. You are so nonsense. Lan Yu instantly disappeared in place, and appeared above Six Paths in twilight. From today on, the order of the Pure Land is up to me. Boom. Lan Yu made a bold kick, but before kicking it out, it caused a large-scale tremor of the Pure Land. Buzz. The next moment, Lan Yu felt an extremely powerful gravitational force. This gravitational force acted on Lan Yu, directly pushing him horizontally hundreds of meters away, interrupting the attack. Golden Tenseiden. Lan Yu stood calmly in the air, overlooking the past. I saw the old man beside Sage of Six Paths, his white pupils suddenly turned into golden bright pupils, making it difficult to look directly. The younger brother of Yuya, the ancestor of the Hyuga clan. Otsutsuki Homura. Also at this moment. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. It's useless. This is the yin-yang space-time barrier developed by Homura, and I know one can leave without our permission. Madara and Hashirama arrived with Izuna. On what basis did you say this? Boom boom boom. Is anyone here again? The order of the Pure Land must not be disturbed. I saw a golden beam of light rushing into the sky around the giant city. Blockade is the first element. Swallow, the evil heresy whose soul becomes stronger, stay here forever. Lan Yu bloomed the monstrous Ryotsu. It doesn't need to be so troublesome. I will destroy you all here, and then occupy the Pure Land to restore order. It's that simple. Lan Juyu. Raise your hand. A medium-sized sacred piece of destruction fell on the barrier and was directly destroyed by the barrier. During the words, Hai was also working, and Homura opened his 5 fingers. 17 Great Sage. In a blink of an eye, a huge pale golden enchantment was condensed, and Lan Yu was also contained. After all, if the same level really wants to escape, they can't stop it. Yui said with a sigh of relief, and finally sealed Lan Yu.